No, not really.
Save your breath for screaming.
I should probably mute that other thing. There we go.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a bunch of different shit running on different screens, and it's just anyway. Welcome to the 23rd episode of Screaming into the Void, where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like. With me is sometimes is Maester Chow.
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth. And our lovely co-host, Kat, the Corpus Loyalist.
Peace for profit. It's all for profit.
And
the one
returning,
fighting for peace is like whoring for virginity. Just saying.
Something like that. And
That's,
return.
that's actually, oh my god, that's brilliant.
You say horror like it's a bad thing.
No.
Yeah.
Just I say it with love and inflection. Sorry, Carrie. Didn't mean to get in your introduction there. My bad.
And returning to the panel, mandatory carry, or in this case, sleeps with brass knuckles on.
Someone's gotta.
Yeah.
Awesome. I
Who's
need a
got the
pair.
muzzle? Who has the muzzle today? Moving on.
Yeah. So it looks like we got Kohai Masochist in the chat. Larry's going to be pissed about that.
Hello.
He's going to be even more pissed about Logical Spock. Welcome in. We've got Alexia Hordwing. Good to see you.
For the horde.
Yeah,
And
that's actually
Ozymandias. Yes, Carrie is back. Also, Alexia, thank you. I worked all of 20 minutes to make that.
Well, it was 20 minutes well spent.
I think so. I think it turned out great.
Well done, Sam. You should give yourself an honorary POB for that.
I got a pretty good one for the Thursday shows too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's so today, given that some of the topics we've been talking about lately have been heavier and generally suck.
Yeah.
I thought we'd discuss something that we can all get behind, and that's sci-fi that doesn't suck.
Fair enough.
Or fantasy or genre or whatever, just things that we like to partake in that make us happy, rather. So, thank you. Thank you very much.
I got a story that makes me happy.
Yeah. Welcome, Yue. Go for it.
Well, you were talking on your Thursday show about your car. So I got to tell this story because this car has been nicknamed the rocket-powered roller skate for a hot minute, long before Sam got it from me. And the whole reason we nicknamed this thing the rocket-powered roller skate is one day I was driving home from work, and the roads were nice and dry most of the way. And then as I crossed over a bridge that's about a third of the way home, I'm tooling along about 65 miles an hour. I hit that bridge, spin 360 degrees, stay in the proper lane of travel, in the proper direction of travel, slow it down to about 45. And I'm like, well, that's a fucking rocket-powered roller skate. And it's been that way ever since.
And it truly is a rocket-powered roller skate. The thing's got zip, but man, the handling sucks.
It is sketchy as fuck.
It is. It's I work about less than a full mile from where I live, and during the winter it's white knuckle driving the whole time.
Yeah.
No, and that's just in town, and it's just it's pretty awesome. There's a hill between me and work.
Michigan?
No. We live in Wyoming. We've discussed this.
Okay, all right.
So there's a hill that's not super high, but it's pretty friggin' steep in between me and work. So much fun when it's icy out. I mean, and it kind of is. There's a part of me that gets a little terrified thrill from that sort of thing, but also there's the other part of me that's like, I could die today.
Right.
No. Every day going to work, almost eating it on that hill. And I wouldn't take that hill if it wasn't the most expeditious way to do it. Otherwise I got to drive like, a mile and a half out of my way.
Right.
So,
It just makes it funnier for all the rest of us.
yeah. So, full on winter where we're at. Larry's still enjoying some nice weather where he is, so fuck him. I mean that with love, brother. If you're listening. Good to see you, 7-1. Glad to see you made it. So yeah, I was thinking we would talk about some sci-fi that we liked. In particular, the one I had in mind, and I don't know if everybody here's seen it, but I think most of us have. Was the Ron Moore remake of
Yay!
Battlestar Galactica from 2003.
Yeah.
First 2.5 seasons, some of the best television ever made.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Sci-Fi Channel used to be that they couldn't make a feature film to save their lives, and they couldn't fuck up a series to save their lives.
Right.
Used
Right.
to-
Yeah, that was so weird too, because they're all of their made for Sci-Fi Channel movies were utter garbage. But the television series that they were running at the time, I mean, I think they had acquired the rights to Stargate SG-1 at that time. Stargate Atlantis started on there. Eureka was a Sci-Fi Channel original.
Oh, I miss you.
Oh yeah, that was good. I remember Eureka.
Yeah, Eureka was fantastic. I think even Warehouse 13 was on there too, wasn't it?
Never saw it. Sorry.
So, but yeah, they did. They could do no wrong as far as television was concerned for quite some time. Of course, they kept making movies like Lavalantula.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's
Just
about giant fire-breathing spiders that come out of a volcano.
Okay, that is cool.
And they were
No, it wasn't.
really poorly animated.
Still.
So that's a shame, Ozzy. I think it's an excellent show. But and I think you've mentioned Brimstone before. That was on the BBC, was it not?
Brimstone?
Or was that Canadian?
That was Canadian.
Okay, yeah, well, that makes sense. I have not seen a lot of Canadian television except for the American stuff that they produce in BC, in
Right.
Vancouver.
They
So-
have television channels that we don't have here in Canada.
Yes.
Yes.
They actually are capable of making television shows in Canada.
Yes.
I mean, to a point.
There are people in Canada.
There are
Yeah,
people.
like
No.
4.
and Aussie's one of them.
Good old Canuckistan.
Yeah. So, but no, I haven't seen Brimstone. I don't actually know that I can see Brimstone where I live at. I don't know, because I know of Canadian television, but very, very little of it is available where I live.
Right.
So, yeah. But BSG was fantastic, and then it kind of like dips a little in the middle of the third season, and the fourth season jumps the shark entirely. But it was still watchable for the most part.
I didn't see the fourth. Wasn't there some kind of like writers union? So I watched up until a point, and then they stopped for a while making episodes, and I never went back.
That was actually in season 2. That's why season 2 is like
No, season 4.
Oh, no, I think you're right. I was thinking of something else.
Okay.
There was another show that got their second season was cut in half because of the writer's strike at that time. And then they came back and it was not as good. But yeah, it was around that time. But yeah, they took 6 years to make a 4-season show.
Yeah, I remember there being like a pause and being like weird. Like just I never got to finish that.
Yeah. No, it's I got all of it. We were just talking about backstage physical media. I have the whole series on DVD, including all of the made for TV supplemental movies. Which the only one worth watching actually is Razor, which takes place in the middle of season 2.
See, Razor was when things were starting to not go the right direction down there.
I don't know, man. I liked Razor. I thought that was a hell of a show.
It had all kinds of potential, but yeah, it had all kinds of potential, but
Yep.
yeah.
Speaking of some of the best science fiction television ever made, yes, The X-Files.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's an unpopular opinion. I didn't think the X-Files was all that good.
You're right. That's it. That's a very unpopular
I
opinion.
mean, it wasn't bad,
You
but I
go
don't
to
think
the
it was as good
corner
as
and
everyone
think
says it
about
was.
yourself and the life that you've been living.
No, I'm okay with the life that I've been living.
You know that trope about Simpsons did it first,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
X-Files did it before the Simpsons did.
Yeah, that's true.
That's probably true.
Almost every trope you can find in science fiction that didn't come directly out of the original Star Trek series came from the X-Files. That is
Yeah.
commonly used today.
Right.
And it was. I will admit that towards the end of the series, when Mulder goes missing, and they brought in all the other actors and stuff, and it started kind of going downhill pretty fast. But
Yeah, that's when it went down. Mulder made it awesome.
up through the first 7
don't know.
seasons, it's fantastic.
I think really I'm just not a David Duchovny fan. I think that's what it really comes down to.
I get that. That's yeah. He's kind of hit or miss with me. I loved him as Fox Mulder. I kind of
Yeah.
hated him in that Californication show that he did on what was it, Showtime or whatever, where he played the writer.
Yeah, Californication was terrible, if you ask me.
It was awful.
I know.
But I also liked him as the mescaline addicted doctor in Playing God with Steven Dorff.
All right, I will give you that one. That was pretty good.
That was a good show. So, good evening, Rez. Good to see you. Hey, Luke Castley. You should check out the X-Files, though. It's fantastic. Start at the beginning.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, watch it. You know, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just some dude. But yeah.
Yeah, it's
I've got
good
my
stuff.
I've got my issues.
Right. So I will start it off here, but I'd like to go around the horn and hear everybody's thoughts on the matter. My personal favorites, Stargate SG-1, The X-Files, Deep Space Nine, BSG, Firefly.
Okay, that's a good list. That is.
Firefly, TNG, DS9. Oh, let's see. What else would I slap on there? I mean, honestly, Firefly's number one for me. And it always has been, always will be.
He has the brownest of coats.
I do. I am the shiniest of shinies, and I aim to misbehave the most.
Before we go too much further, Shadow, you were absolutely right about that. And you know what else you were right about? All right. That'll be it for the show. But I'm going to show that every time you show
Yeah,
up. on my
no,
chat.
it's not.
But Farscape was also good, especially considering that half of the characters were freaking Muppets. So, all right, Carrie, go ahead.
Hot take: I cannot stand Farscape. Okay,
That's
mostly because of my brother. Okay, go ahead.
Cat.
Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Stargate Atlantis, Stargate SG-1, The X-Files. Oh dear God, there's too many of them. Like Eureka was awesome. Warehouse 13 was awesome. I actually did really like that show that Shadow Hawk keeps going on, where he keeps calling Viso a belter.
The Expanse.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
I think it's excellent through the first 4 seasons. Yeah, it's actually really, really good television. After that,
I really liked Babylon 5 up until the last episode. That they did Lanier dirty in the last episode. That was really just bad.
Yeah,
with Lanier. I mean, even no matter how much he would not have done that. What he did at the end of the Babylon 5. BSG I really liked as well. I mean, and I know that the moment I move, I'll think of something else. But God, the one with the woman and Leonard Nimoy was in it, and the crazy doctor and his son.
I got nothing.
Oh God, I know what it is.
Rez, actually, yes. I watched that a couple months ago for the first time. That was pretty solid.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. It's after Star Trek. Let's see, what is his personal life?
We said
Listen.
good sci-fi, Alexia.
It's not here. He was in the show briefly. Filmography. Leonard Nimoy filmography. I can't.
Ryan, go to the corner and think about yourself and the life that you
Perry
can
Mason.
I'm gonna take that off screen before she sees it and yells at me.
Hey, what?
All right, I'll put it back.
Yeah.
Hey, no! No! Where is it? No! Not the big. It's not Star Trek. That show. Oh my god, what was it called? Fringe.
Oh,
The Fringe?
The show Fringe.
I had a hard time with that one. It always seemed like a fifth-rate X-Files with mystery box.
I know, I got really into it.
So I think Ozzy brings up some stuff here that he really likes. Now, I'm not a Whovian.
Oh, Doctor Who. Yes, Doctor Who. Definitely start Doctor Who.
You know, I always found it a bit silly, which I understand we're talking about sci-fi. It's all a bit silly, but I never really got into that. But I will absolutely agree with his other choices here, especially the Twilight Zone. Rod Serling was the man.
By the way, Rings of Power is not sci-fi. Rings of Power is fantasy. So
I mean, for a given value of fantasy, sure.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
No,
and then,
I'd call it a travesty, but you know,
yeah.
hey, whatever. Teach their own.
But then I would also say Star Wars. Then Halo, the video games, not the TV show, the video games. Destiny. I love the story for Destiny. Up until later in the last year or two. Warframe. Those are video games, but they are sci-fi.
That's true. Yeah, and I'm not. I don't think we limited it to just television or anything. So, yeah, whatever it is that really knocks your socks off.
Yeah, Borderlands, Doom.
Doom
is awesome. Come on, Space Demons.
No. I just didn't expect to hear that one, but yeah, I get it.
She's right.
Maester Chow is a big fan of the Doom movie with The Rock and
I love that movie. I cannot describe how much I love that movie, and it is a horrible movie. It is a piece of shit for cinema, but God, do I love it.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Mostly, it's a lot of it's just because of that one exchange between Carl Urban and The Rock, where it's like, "How much you got left? Half a clip, you." I got one shot, and then shoots the BFG at him. Just gotta say, that was an amazing exchange.
Yeah, I don't know if it makes the whole movie worth it, though.
It does, Sam. You're just not looking at it in the right light.
I am looking at it in the first-person perspective they fucking put me in that movie.
Hey, dude, the director's cut gave you like a solid couple minutes of that, and it was great. Even Rosamund Pike was good in it. And I don't say that very often because I don't like her.
I think she's a great actress, actually, but
I think she's okay. She was great in Gone Girl. Oh my
that
god,
movie! I don't want to talk about that movie.
Oh.
That movie makes me want to cut myself and other people.
Well, at least it's not Requiem for a Dream.
That movie makes me want to cut people and then set them on fire.
Yes, it does. I cannot watch Labyrinth ever again.
I can. You know how? Because I blocked out Requiem for a Dream.
Wait. Labyrinth, you mean
the one with Jennifer Connelly and David Bowie and
no, you know what? I used to I did that. I watched that as a kid and I thought I liked it. Then I came back and watched it as an adult, and my god, that girl is a brat.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I can't watch Labyrinth because of her.
She is a brat, but nobody watches it for Jennifer Connelly. I mean, she's a kid in that movie. They watch it for David Bowie.
Hold up.
She's in it a lot.
All right. I only need one word to counter that argument. Tits.
Dude, she was like 15 in that movie.
Yeah.
I didn't say I did not have issues. And by the way, she was older than me at the time.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
Mm.
Yep, definitely. He had that massive codpiece the whole show.
Everyone loved that codpiece. Even that codpiece loved being that codpiece.
Right?
So the thing what he does with the glass balls, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
Everyone likes that.
Yeah, the glass ball thing. Actually, he did that. He practiced and practiced to get good at that. That's all practical.
Which is awesome. I wish I could do that.
They're
What-
called fushigi balls. You used to be able to buy them.
No, you
Why
still
can't you buy them now?
Well, you
'Cause-
still probably can. I just don't care about them anymore.
Wait, just one thing. Why are you guys sending me in the Discord pictures of Corpus in their underwear?
What the
You
hell
guys are
is
in
wrong with you
Discord?
people?
I have no idea what is wrong with the people in my Discord. But they keep sending me pictures of Corpus wearing their helmets and then they're in their underwear.
It's for the pinup calendar, Cat.
No, but
Wait.
why are they wearing the stupid helmet if they're wearing nothing but underwear? It makes no sense.
It's not supposed to make sense. The same reason they have, sexy fireman
Oh
calendars
my
and things
god,
like
now
that.
you've got Corpus spread out on top of... No!
You could lump that in with Tits of Gundam. I don't know if you guys have seen that shit, but somebody's been
Yes.
making like
Yes, I have.
like hentai pictures and pasting It's a Gundam's head on them.
And I wish I hadn't.
And he's
already
running
having
with it. Have you
nightmares.
seen his
I've
new
heard of it.
profile picture?
No. Oh, God.
He's got that one where he's got the ass in the air and the tits are all pressed
Oh,
up against
yeah,
the
I
ground
know
and his
that
head's
one.
like cocked at an impossible angle and shit. That's his new profile picture. And he's running with it. He's like hashtag Tits of Gundam.
Right.
Shout out
Res
you,
Legend
not
was a
just
great movie.
Yes.
I judge people on where they know Tim Curry from. Just saying.
Yeah.
I will judge you right to your
Legend,
face.
Legend is a fantastic movie.
But it's not sci-fi, guys.
No, it isn't, but it also makes people happy, so I'm gonna allow it.
And Tim Curry as not the devil, but one of the devil's sons is the only redeeming quality of that film. Literally the only
Oh,
thing.
you didn't like the midget in there? I mean, Tom Cruise.
Wow. First of all, that's only funny because it's true, and second of all, no, I didn't.
Oh, okay. It's all right. Not enough couch jumping on Oprah for him, or Ellen or whatever the fucking talk show he was on when he did that dumb shit.
It was Oprah.
Scientology made me go clear.
Yeah, it was.
Trying
Oprah.
to block that from
Satan
my
free.
mind.
Follow-up question from Zeron. What's everyone's thoughts on the Dark Crystals?
A beautiful
Um,
movie.
I love the movie. I dislike the TV series.
There was a TV series based on the Dark Crystal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
wasn't.
know that either.
So the story was compelling. It actually wasn't bad, but they could have done so much more with it. However, I do appreciate that they stuck with the practical effects, the Muppets, or as opposed to like CGI. So having your Skeksis and your Mystics and your Gelflings and everyone actually be physical models was pretty great.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad I missed it.
I'm what?
Victor says what?
Nothing. Moving on.
So yeah, no, I just I think hey, Ozzy's got how would you judge him here?
We got. Oh yes.
Whoa.
My bestie. My BFF now.
I've never
Yep.
seen.
As
I've never seen that film.
oh, you need to watch
Oh,
it. You need to
dude.
put that on like your to do now list.
Yeah, the Clue
Because-
is fantastic.
Yeah, you have to make sure that you get it like on DVD so you get all the endings. Because what they did is they would randomly send out. They shot 3 different endings, and each theater would get a different ending. So everyone thought they got the real ending, but it was really it. Yeah, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. I can gush about that movie. I love it.
Yeah, Tim Curry plays the butler.
Wadsworth.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this now. I've never seen Clue. I promise I'll get around to it. I can already tell you the only redeeming value of that movie was Tim Curry as the butler.
I actually no, you'd be wrong. Almost everyone in that movie had stellar performances. Actually, And like you, I'm sure you've played the board game, right?
Once or twice, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the movie is based on the board game. It was made in like what 1986, but it takes place in the 1950s during McCarthyism.
Something like that.
Yeah, and it's oh man, it was pretty genius. I think Christopher Lloyd's in it too, isn't he?
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd is in it. It's actually got Lee
Okay.
Ving from the punk rock band Fear in it. He plays Mr. Body.
Yeah, I was gonna say, doesn't he play Mr. Body?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a great movie. It's a lot of fun. It's very high energy. It's very upbeat considering all the bodies.
Right.
Okay.
It's a fun movie. I think you'll like it. So, but yeah, I don't know. I like stuff that makes me happy. I think that we don't have enough of that stuff being produced currently. So I've been looking back, to older things. Started watching the X-Files again recently, for instance. Very much enjoying that. Although you can tell that the show's been around for 30 years, which blows my damn mind.
Right.
Well, Sam, did you forget something?
What, that I'm old?
No, I'm older than you, so don't start that shit with me.
Not much.
Okay, oh, that's not the point. I have one to add to the list, at very least.
Shoot.
The Robotech anime series.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's
Can't
been
say
a
I've seen it.
while. I've seen it
been
like
a
once.
long time. But it was actually mostly very good. It was the middle part of the series. It needed a lot of work, but we'll talk about that later.
Right.
Yeah, see, I'm not alone either. Ha.
I don't know Robotech.
Yeah, it's I've heard of it, right? But I don't watch a lot of anime, and the anime that I do watch tends to be very niche, like Vampire Hunter D or Cowboy Bebop or Trigun or that sort of thing. I don't watch a ton of it. I do watch. I like
Desert
Miyazaki.
Punk.
I've seen most of his movies. Desert Punk is one of them, mostly because of the episode where he traps the woman with the big boobs underground until she
Yes.
shows him her big boobs, and he
Well,
denies her
no.
food and water.
It's actually until they scrog.
Right, but the plan was
Right.
He's
I'm
like-
just saying.
yeah.
I hate to admit it, but Shadow's right. Macross was the best was the best of the three arcs.
Yeah, I like Trigun too. Trigun was so there was an
It was
era
really
of anime.
good.
Yeah, there was an era of anime where you would get these series that were incredibly silly, right? Just goofy as shit, like Trigun. But the last couple episodes would break your goddamn heart.
Those hunt elves.
Yeah, well, Trigun is one of them. Steel Angel Karumi, goofy as shit. There's not a serious bone in that series' body, but that final episode was freaking devastating.
Yeah, and then there's Excel Saga.
Why?
What did you
Why?
say?
I will sneak into your room and smother you in your sleep for that.
I
Probably
get in
deserve it.
line.
Wait, no, just a random thing, Alexia. The thing I just built in my dojo is completed. The corpus room you guys showed me how to build, it's completed. I didn't use the platinum to get it. It's now works, which is interesting. They just were showing me something in Warframe where you could have a corpus room in your dojo, and I'm like, oh my god! And I thought it would take a whole day to build, and it's complete. And I didn't pay the platinum to do it, so I'm kind of confused.
Fair
It's
enough.
cool.
Well, that's some bad news.
Well, what?
Yeah, that was bad news.
Trigun's getting a reboot, apparently.
Oh god, no more reboots. No more reboots.
Holy shit! Somebody who knows what Excel Saga is besides me and Chow.
And me.
What?
I was
Lord
hoping it was.
Palazzo!
Oh fuck! I was hoping that was
I can't
obscure
even
enough.
stand the voice actress now because of that.
Well,
I never made it past the first episode. I saw that first episode and I just about poured bleach in my fucking eye holes.
I finished the series.
My
I
brother
know.
made me watch the entire series.
Yeah, same with me.
See?
My brother did the same. He made me watch the whole damn series.
Yeah, he tried to make me do it. But it was revenge for making them both watch a movie called Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, which to my mind is one of
Wait.
the greatest Canadian independent films ever made.
Whoa,
Honestly, I'll agree with you on that
what?
one. AJC, we've never spoken before, but we're
Yeah.
the atheists.
You never heard of Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, Cat?
No.
All right, so I am going to play something from it, and I don't care if we get clipped or not because it's too goddamn good. So let me
I
let me
don't
dig
think
it
we're
up
gonna
here.
get clipped for something out of a shitty Canadian indie film.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Whether we
God.
commit suicide or not is another question
Oh
entirely.
God, no! I actually like it. No.
It's gonna be great. It's
You like
is.
anything there, Cat?
Here we go. So I think
and it
this is
just
the whole
keeps
scene.
going.
Okay. Let me share the screen here.
Why?
It's one of the best things ever. And keep in mind that this movie is a musical.
Yes, it
wait,
is.
wait,
It's
wait,
got
wait,
kung
wait,
fu
wait,
in
wait,
it.
wait. It's a musical.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's got
Okay, so it's wrong.
kung fu in it.
it.
It's got vampires, and the whole plot basically revolves around Jesus comes back for the second coming, but before he can bring light to the world, he has to deal with a vampire problem, right?
Oh,
And the
God.
vampires have discovered how to walk out in the day by skinning lesbians and using their skin to prevent the sun rays from killing them. It's the whole thing. This movie's super fucked up. And
Wait. Skinny doesn't have to be lesbians.
Yes.
yes,
What about bisexual?
nope,
No,
just lesbians, straight
See,
lesbians.
this is long before the
Wait,
alphabet
what?
community really was mainstream, so no one really cared about the rest of them. But
Before
yeah,
you do that,
It's
Samuel, Ozzy, you should ask Samuel what my username was before we came on today.
I'm not gonna say it.
No, wait, no,
I might,
no,
I
I was
might.
wrong. It's a different room. I'm mistaken. I thought it was
No,
the
you can
corporate
say
room.
that
Never
one.
mind. It's still building.
Without getting
Yeah.
into trouble.
It was hashtag we love you, Susan. Hashtag you cunt.
No, after that.
That you
All
sleep
I
with
saw
that-
was sleep with brass knuckles on.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously disturbed sociopath.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that
yeah.
one.
Yeah, but that's like your calling card, man. Everybody knows that.
Well,
And if
yeah.
they don't, they should.
Right.
So, all right. So I'm going to play this scene. This
Oh,
is
God, I
when
gotta see
Jesus.
Right, guys.
Okay, so he has come back from the dead. He has shaved his beard. He has cut his hair short. He got ear piercings. He's wearing cool black clothes, and he's got an armload of wood so that he can make stakes to fight the vampires with. And
Why do I have a vision of
he gets
Keanu
accosted by a van full of atheists.
may the force be with you.
All right,
Oh my God, no.
here we go. Let me know if the volume's up.
Reeves? Well, damned and doomed to know.
Oh, he hasn't got his cool black clothes yet, but he has cut his hair and shaved his beard.
Yeah, this happens pretty early in the movie. Early-ish.
Also, I have to mention that not only is there kung fu and it's a musical and there's some skateboarding shenanigans, but there's also some stuff involving Mexican wrestling.
Okay, is there any bad idea they didn't go with?
No, they went with all of them. That's what makes it great.
Yeah, it's almost as good as Velocipaster, but
Oh man, that
What?
if you haven't seen Velocipaster,
keep
I
going.
believe it's still on Amazon Prime and it is amazing.
Wait, what is it?
It's about a priest who gets infected on his trip to Tibet or whatever with some rare supernatural curse that every time he gets angry, he turns into a velociraptor and eats everybody in the room.
you just need to watch it. We cannot describe it because words just cannot convey the amazingness that is Velocipaster.
These are the things that make me happy. So we'll continue with Jesus versus the atheists. Uh-oh.
Forgot about the bitch and techno soundtrack.
Hello, Jesus. You don't know us because we've never talked to you before. We are the atheists.
That's like the greatest line in movie history.
We are the
That is the worst line in movie history.
It's one of the single worst deliveries.
No, it's a bad line to begin with. Keep going.
So
Look, Jesus, we're taking your second coming as down. Consider this the 13th station of the cross. Let's get on with the conversion.
it's like a clown car.
How many people are in there?
Oh, just wait.
There's more?
A lot.
Top-notch choreography too.
Oh my god.
He was smiling.
Techno soundtrack.
Told you it's a bitchin' techno soundtrack.
Oh my god.
The guy on the left was clearly too big for him, but he just sort of falls over.
What?
There's more.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh my god.
They had to load him in stages.
Well, you've been on Twitter, Kat. You know how many atheists are out there.
They're everywhere.
No, you mean no? They're wokeists.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're neo-atheists.
I love the sound effects.
There's more.
That was straight out of Three Stooges.
So was the finger thing.
Seen that movie so many times.
Yeah.
How many waves of them are there?
Yeah,
21.
They just
It's getting close.
yeah, right there. That bit right there where he's just like it's one of the favorite things
Oh,
ever.
come
So
on.
they come out, right? And he looks at it, he's like, oh, really?
No, Alexia, this is horrible. In a way that even sci-fi never was.
That's a hockey move there.
They are Canadians.
Really? What?
There. Okay, I'm never gonna look at Canadians the same again.
Yeah. Boa, Ozzy, these are your people.
Yeah, let's not forget who made this mess.
Ewan's got a point there. That's kind of a good point. Not a lot.
Wait, what the hell is that?
Bad acting. Bad script.
Horrible acting.
Bad concept.
But believe it or not, this isn't even close to the worst scene in the movie.
But wait. Lord.
No, these are Canadian.
Awesome for you.
Why did she bother having anything on if she's going to have her tits hanging out?
I don't know.
And him, he's wearing his own noose.
I think it's
So,
hilarious that one of the
good job.
final atheists is dressed like a Mormon missionary.
Well, you know.
I don't believe it.
Okay, now all of a sudden there's a pile of bodies there. Right?
Yep.
Oh god.
Then he just gathers up his wood and continues on his way.
I
That movie's
I
so
like
You
funny.
the
don't know
sneakers.
us because we've never spoken to you. No shit, really, Sherlock? Jesus Christ! Good thing you're fucking here to tell us that.
that is one of my favorite movies of all time.
How did you find that?
You know what? I
Looks
don't
like a torture
recall.
technique.
I think I found it in a bargain bin at freaking Walmart in Colorado, like 20, I don't know. How long ago was that, child? It was like 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. A long time ago.
It does get much worse. There's a part later where there's this mad scientist who's helping the vampires out, and with the lesbian skin thing, and he gets attacked, right? And so Jesus is fighting him, but he's also fighting a bunch of other people out in this junkyard because he's Jesus. He can be in two places at once. And the doctor wraps these like kidneys around his fists, like brass knuckles, but they're human kidneys. Just starts going to town. Gave a new meaning to the term kidney punching.
What? Never mind. I don't.
Just watch the movie.
Yeah.
No.
Watch it.
No.
So anyway, long story short, guys, Maester Chow and I were both made to, at least in part, watch Excel Saga. Yeah, in revenge for making our brother watch this.
Yeah.
Well, am I gonna have to make you guys watching something out of revenge after watching The Velocipaster?
No, I think you're gonna love that movie.
Speedo Nazi Hunter while you're at it.
Yes, but you have to do it with closed captions on.
Yes.
After losing his parents, a priest travels to China where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. After first horrified by his new powers, a prostitute convinces him to use it to fight crime and ninjas.
Yeah, that's about right.
Just hearing that makes me want to kill myself.
No, it gets like he gets some control over it towards the end of the movie, so he just turns his hands into like Velociraptor claws, right? But you can see like the special effects are so high quality that they're clearly just gloves that he got out of a Walmart Halloween section.
Yep. It's amazing. it's just amazing. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing anybody actually spent time thinking about this script. That's the amazing part.
Man, it is so
I've
much
written better porn than that.
It's not about the quality of it. It's about how much fun it is, man. Like Chow here loves this movie with one of my favorite actors, Rutger Hauer, who I love. But let's face it, has been in some really bad fucking movies like this one, Hobo with a Shotgun. Yeah, you knew exactly where I was going with that.
The moment you said Rutger Hauer, I knew what you were talking about. That is a terrible, terrible movie.
Which, like Snakes on a Plane, tells you everything you need to know in the title.
Okay, got it.
You have a hobo and
with a shotgun. So yeah, Ozzy, I have I have a copy of that movie, but I also have a copy of the book that it's based on, and the book is far better than the movie. The movie was very stylized, and it was okay, but I would recommend reading the book over watching the movie because the guy who wrote it took the vampire thing and wove it into Lincoln's actual diaries.
Oh God, that must be awesome!
And it's really, really good and well written and well put together.
Somehow, I actually have 2 copies of that movie, and I'm not sure why. I don't know
why. Did you borrow mine at one point?
No, I didn't.
So, but
by accident?
Probably.
Yeah, UA knows Hobo with a Shotgun.
Gotta love Hobo with the Shotgun. No, really, you don't. It's a bad movie, but I still watch it. I have this horrible calling to watch bad cinema.
It's one that we share actually, and any chance we get, which is why he brought up Where's Skeeto Nazi Hunter. You must watch that.
Wait,
If
what is
you
it?
Where's Skeeto Nazi Hunter.
What the hell is what?
Oh
It's
my
a guy. It's about a guy who's like a werewolf, but mosquito,
God.
and he hunts Nazis.
Where's Skeeto, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it
Okay.
was made about 4 years ago, but it's done up in like
Right.
the 50s sci-fi craze aesthetic, so it's black and white, and it actually has some surprisingly good practical effects in it. And it's about a mad scientist who was experimenting with gene splicing and stuff, and he was a Nazi, except that for some reason the Nazi mad scientist had a Wisconsin accent.
Actually, that's not the craziest detail.
No, it isn't. But you have to watch it with closed captions on, not subtitles, closed captions, because they react to the movie.
Yeah, it's great.
So worth it.
Oh God.
So,
Well,
but yeah.
Ozzy, yes, I have part of that. Overdrawn at the memory bank. I didn't get to see the start, and I only got to see it once because it was Sci-Fi Channel. For a Sci-Fi Channel, that was not as bad as it could have been.
Oh wait, I forgot about Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah,
That's
was
unfortunate.
The second season was quite a bit better. It was very good actually, and it picks up right at the end of the first season. But it was so slow burn for like almost the entire first season that it lost its viewership. That's why it got canceled.
Which sucks because it ended on a cliffhanger.
That's true.
Wasn't Summer Glau in that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why it got canceled.
It was. She played Cameron the Terminator.
Yeah, I love her. I really do. But
she's cursed.
It's cursed.
Speaking of cursed, Captain Power. I loved that series, but it got canceled at the end of the first season. You know who's in it?
Summer Glau?
No, I don't even think she was born yet. Jessica Stein. Every series that Jessica Stein is in as a regular gets canceled at the end of the first season.
Yeah, that tracks. So, yeah, no idea. Haven't seen it. I'm a fan of the Dragon Age series. I like the Dragon Age series. I even liked Dragon Age 3, but the way they're going these days, I might be done with that.
Hey, the video game?
Yes.
I haven't played Dragon Age Inquisition.
Dragon Age Origins is probably one of the best dark fantasy RPGs ever made. Bar none. There are a handful, I think, that are on that list, and it's definitely up there. Dragon Age 2 fixed some of the problems, but created a whole slew of new ones, but the story was good. And then Dragon Age 3 fixed a lot of the other problems, but then again created a whole new set of other problems and all that. And then they're supposed to be, they've been working on a fourth one for like 8 years now that will probably never come out. And even if it does, it's not going to be anything like those of us who are fans would be hoping for. Not just because of the woke thing, but because it's supposed to take place in a country called Tevinter, which is a magocracy, I guess is the word you would use. Like magic users rule the whole country and everybody else is basically slaves. And by basically, I mean actually slaves. So they'll, of course, lean into the slave narrative, which they've already done with the elves tend to be so, you're in Rings of Power, when they refer to elves as knife ears, it comes from Dragon Age. It's a slur.
Oh. So they stole something else. I'm not surprised.
No, they stole most of their shit. But yeah, that slur comes from Dragon Age, as far as I know, originally, and it's because the elves in that game have long, pointy ears and they look like knives.
Well, all elves do traditionally, so.
Right. But typically in Lord of the Rings, they look more like Vulcan ears.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take that. These are much longer ears, is what you're saying.
Yes, much.
Okay.
and they're also smaller than humans and slight and all that. So they're not like, these grandiose beings that you would find in like Lord of the Rings or anything like that. Most of them are grubby and dirty and live in hovels, or nomads who eat people. So it's a whole thing. And so they'll probably lean into racism, and they'll lean into we were slaves and all that stuff pretty hard this time around, which I think is going to suck because Tevinter's actually got an interesting history and backstory.
Yeah, but they got to wokeify everything. You know that.
Right.
Well,
And they're definitely going to do that because the mage upper class who rules Tevinter are also the ones who are responsible for the blights and everything that has plagued the world of Thetis.
Right.
In prehistory. So, there's your white man right there. Overstepped their bounds and tried to become gods.
Right.
And
why he should have stayed in his lane.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's going to get super wokeified, which is unfortunate. And because the world is really interesting and the places and the peoples in it are very, very interesting. I would love to find out more about the Kunari, for example, or a race of gray-skinned giants, some of whom are horned.
We have got to do a sci-fi fantasy series that is as unwoke as they get.
Yeah.
I'd sign in for that.
Warframe.
Obviously, this is not going to meet up to that standard, but series nobody remembered Andromeda.
I didn't want to remember Andromeda.
Andromeda was actually the prototype that Star Trek was based on?
Really?
Huh.
Yes. Majorelle was going through Gene's papers after he passed away, and she found Andromeda. This was before he went.
That's
to
why they. Sorry, never mind.
Before he went to the network, this is the idea that he had, and I don't know if they went to the network. He did go to the network. They say, "Yeah, rethink it, come back to us," or what? But then he's passed away. She's going through the papers, saying, "Hey, this is not a bad idea." And we're the point. I'm Major L. Barrett. They're going to say yes.
No, but that's why it was always called Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda.
Yes.
Real quick, Alexia, I assume that's directed at people who have played the Dragon Age series. It depended on my character and what I was doing with it, because I've done multiple playthroughs on all three games. But generally speaking, Leliana.
Oh, come on. You
Does
mean
she
there's
swallow?
a romancing part? Then I'm definitely not playing
It's a
it. That's
BioWare
boring.
game.
Ugh, boring.
It's also optional. You don't have to do it.
Can you kill everybody?
Well, you can drive them to leave you forever, which will, give you a really nasty ending.
But I want to kill everybody. That's the point.
And in the first one,
very bad
one of the endings involves your character sacrificing themselves for everybody else, so you die.
No, I would never do that. Why? No, they could all die for me.
Well, no, that's not how you're the hero. You're supposed to.
No, I'm the hero, so everybody's supposed to die for me.
We don't need another hero.
That's not how that works, Kat.
Yes, it is. If I'm the hero, everyone should be dying for me.
That's kind of like anti-hero there, Deadpool.
No. If I'm the hero's supposed to survive, right?
Not in any good literature.
Yes.
Well, not in every good literature, anyway.
I see Azrael Rising 78 agrees with Chow and I. She posted on Twitter. She said, "I'm told I need to watch this," and then put up a Velocipaster.
No, actually, you don't, lady. Please don't do that. Please.
Do it.
Please.
Do it.
Don't.
Do it.
Bow to peer pressure.
Don't.
I never bow to peer pressure. You're
Don't
talking
be
to
a sheep.
stubborn people on the planet.
But in this case, I think you'll probably get a big kick out of it because it is just pure silliness and fun.
Okay, that's good. We need some more of that.
That is something I think we all need more of. But yeah, Velocipaster's great. The scene where he loses his parents is one of the most epic parent losing scenes since the last 18 times I saw Bruce Wayne's parents get shot in an alley.
Oh my God. How many times has Bruce Wayne's parents been killed?
More than 18.
Oh God.
The real secret Joker is a psychiatrist who's trying to save the shattered mind of
Uh,
that's his name, Dr. Joseph Care.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
no.
Okay.
But yeah, it's some good stuff. Ozzy, that was on Abyssal Musings, I believe, when she came on and talked with us about that.
You were
I don't-
talking about Brazen Bull and you did not invite me?
You were fucking sleeping.
Okay.
You know, it's like, what do you want me to do? You call you at 11 o'clock my time and be like, hey, by the way, we're doing this thing. You want to come on and talk about something? Give Mayor nightmares? Which is what happened.
Yes, I'm totally down for that plan, but you're right. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have answered because I'd be asleep.
No, not only was she sleeping, but apparently Larry was asleep for that entire conversation. He just was talking to us like he wasn't.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he doesn't remember any of that stuff because he changed
I'm
some stuff around, and I guess he was out of it for pretty much the whole last half of that show while she was on. So he doesn't remember her being on there at all.
Hey, Zeron.
What?
That last one.
The last one?
No, the last one. That is the absolute God's honest truth.
Everyone is scared of the IRS. What are you talking
Well,
about?
Yeah, but Joker admits it.
Yeah, and this is a guy who went and signed up to be the ambassador to the United States for Iran right after he murdered Jason Todd.
Wait, what?
Did you read A Death in the Family?
No.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, so he kills Jason Todd in the Sudan, right?
Yeah.
So then he escapes Batman in the Sudan and he makes his way to Iran and Batman loses him. So he ends up coming back to the States. And the next time he sees him, Joker's stepping out of a diplomatic convoy with a head covering on as the official ambassador to the United States from Iran, which is
No way.
which gives him diplomatic immunity.
That's actually perfectly apropos considering who we're talking about.
Yeah, it gave him diplomatic immunity so Batman couldn't touch him.
Ah.
So he had to wait and try and make him slip up and do something else. And
So actually, you don't get full diplomatic immunity. I mean, there are certain things you still can't
right,
do.
this was
no. So if you have diplomatic immunity, whatever you do, it's sacrosanct. All we can do is say you have to go back to Iran, Russia, Greece, wherever the fuck you came from.
right,
So
and because the murder he committed was in another country, they couldn't do shit about it in the United States, even though he was a United States citizen, because he was granted diplomatic immunity by the Iranian government.
Persona non grata. All we can do is persona. Your home country can prosecute you. That's a wholly separate subject. But no, thank you.
Yeah. So it's a whole thing. But yeah, that he walked right up to the Shah of Iran, and Shah's like, well, tell me why I should not kill you. And he's like, I could be your ambassador. Who could say no to this smile? I don't know. I haven't read it in a while myself, but it was a whole thing. Also, Jason Todd had it fucking coming.
Yeah. Yeah, they could revoke it. Also, there are certain long-term repercussions. I remember they're like, you have to also be careful because you don't want to start an international incident between your country and whatever country you're visiting at the time. I remember reading something that's not as cut and dry as we think.
Right. And Ozzy, I think that's how Batman ended up getting him, was because he tricked him into attacking the Iranian embassy or something like that, and they revoked his status and his immunity, and then he was, fair game at that point.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Ozzy, that is correct.
What's
That's the
yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Oh yeah, this is from okay. Just 1 second. I will bring this up
Okay.
because I think we should be okay there.
Probably not. But who cares?
Yeah, well, apparently not me. So, all right, so here we go. Let's see what the dude has to say here.
Wait, what is this?
Yep, I'll go to jail for tax evasion. I'm crazy enough to take on Batman. But the IRS failed.
That was kind of really weak.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The sound was really weak.
Well, yeah, it's I don't know. It's some videos it comes through. Some of them you have to adjust. Some of them you don't. And it sounded fine through my headphones. So,
Anyway, y'all know it's out there. Don't pretend you don't.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just got a text from the Exiled Lioness. She will not be streaming tonight because where she is, there's no reception, and the internet is crap. So, but she did put out a community post, like as she says, like a good YouTuber. So that's yeah, but she will she's in Texas right now, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Shit.
So,
okay.
But no, she was just on a trip and she's stuck out where she is for the time being. So,
Yeah, awesome. I heard about that, and honestly, I'm very impressed with Qatar. I'm actually very, very impressed. Because they probably could have made a lot of money, but they also stuck to their principles and their morals. Muslims are not supposed to even give alcohol as a gift to somebody. So I've used the example a while back. My dad was given a bottle of wine one year on Christmas, and he could not even give it to somebody. He had to pour it down the toilet. Because if you give somebody alcohol and let's say they get into an accident, well, it's because you gave them alcohol. We know the dangers of alcohol. So I have massive respect for Qatar for actually, I didn't know that it was in the boxers or sweets. They should not have alcohol at all, but they stood by their morals and their principles. A lot of other Arab countries would have allowed alcohol.
I'm surprised they're actually allowing it in boxes and sweets.
Yes, I'm surprised too. They should not have it at all, but
I was under the impression that it was nationally banned, period, end of discussion. It's one of those countries, if you get caught with enough alcohol, they will hang you.
Yeah.
I don't know if they, I mean, it's possible. I don't know if what you're supposed to do Islamically. I don't know what the rules are, but you are not, alcohol is considered one of the worst things because there's a story I remember being told as a child about someone who's given the choice between like killing somebody, forcing himself on a woman or drinking alcohol. So he figured that drinking alcohol was the worst of the three. Drank alcohol, got drunk, killed the person, and forced himself on that. It starts with an R.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why alcohol. That's why you're not even supposed to give to somebody as a gift, let alone. That's how frowned alcohol is. That's why I'm not happy with them allowing it in the boxes or sweets. On the other hand, you are not going to have mad amount of people all over drinking.
Yeah.
A friend of mine went to Paris for a trip when I was in high school, and she brought me back a box of bourbon chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
And I ate them in biology, and I left a good deal drunker than I went in. But it made the class better.
Made the class easier.
Oh no, it just made me not care.
Okay.
I was like, hey, this chocolate's pretty good. Hey, I'm feeling a little woozy. Hey, yeah, frog seems like he's dancing. No, that was it's a good time.
Wait.
I first I heard about this Qatar thing was this morning, and it's all over Twitter, and leftist Twitter is losing their shit about anything being held in Qatar at all because of human rights violations. They're saying I don't know enough about any of this to go on about it, so
it's mostly true. All right.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's fuck. I don't even follow like this. Is this a World Cup kind of deal?
It is the FIFA World Cup. It is the football World Cup.
All right, so not a sport that I give a fuck about.
Well, okay.
The thing is, I'm just pissed that they changed the American flag on the football uniforms into the pride flag, which it's like you're saying you don't represent Americans, you represent LGBTQ Americans. And
Yeah,
that
but
to me is like, no.
yeah, but let's be honest. That's not the first
Yeah.
time in recent memory that American soccer players have shit on their own country.
Or every other
No.
kind of sports team has shit on their own country.
Megan
No.
Rapinoe, I'm looking at you.
No, she's far from the first, but this sucks to admit. She came from Northern California, Chico area, which is not far from where I grew up.
Okay. All I know is that she's got a short purple haircut and she looks like a dude.
Yeah.
I think I met her when I was still living in Sacramento, and yeah, makes me kind of want to kill myself. Moving right along.
Well, wait, Megan Rapinoe though is also the one who was beat by a bunch of teenage boys. So
Yeah, because as it
well,
turns out, men and women are built different.
Weird,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, I was actually talking to my mother about that earlier today. And something that you guys remember a couple years ago, there was that a feminist, and I think she might have been a lesbian or whatever, but she did a social experiment where she went undercover as a man for like 6 months to a year or whatever.
yes,
And it completely changed her mind. I don't think that the suicide, I think, was influenced by that, but I think she was a deeply unhappy person to begin with. But I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I've never heard about
But she did this thing because she wanted to prove that men's lives are easier, and she ended up proving the opposite. And what I think about that is that it isn't necessarily that men's lives are harder or that women's lives are harder. It's that we are uniquely suited to the challenges of our sex. You know, like men are suited to challenges that are presented to men. Women are suited to challenges that are presented to women. And therefore, from like a grass is always greener kind of perspective, it looks like it might be easier on the other side. But that's because we can't possibly, because the differences aren't just surface. You know, it's not just because, you know, one's junk is on the outside and one is on the inside. It's not just that, you know, it's not just the XY chromosome versus the XX chromosome. Everything about men is different from everything about women. You know, our hormones are different, the way our brains work are different, and I can't back this up scientifically, but I dare say our souls work differently. You
I'm
know,
trying to get you the answer.
well, we're to complement each other. We are designed to handle the challenges that the other cannot. You know, and that's so that would be why I think, you know, that sort of experiment always comes with the realizations like that. It's also why I don't buy transgender.
I mean, if you're gonna put this event in Qatar, you need to, I mean, respect the people, what the rules of Qatar, and they are basically acting. The United States is acting like a spoiled brat. You don't need to. You are coming to Qatar to play football. It isn't about anything else. You are there for one reason, that is to play football. And now, as somebody put it, you are having a dick whatever contest between all the other Western countries, a dick measuring contest over who can be the most to show off and try to insult your guests. You didn't need to do it. You were there for one reason. You're not going there to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You're not going there for romantic reasons. You're going there to play football. You're not going there to date anybody. This isn't about sending a message other than playing football. And that's why it's like, and you're there to represent America and Americans. And you know what? That's what I don't like about it. You are supposed to be you should be having the American flag. There are more Americans than just those with the pride flag, and that's why it's really bothering. Because anyway,
looks like chat has the name of the woman, Nora Vincent.
Yeah, I got her Wikipedia page from another tab.
So anyway.
Hi Z, how's it going? And also, Zeron is heading out, so have a great night,
Zero.
buddy.
But anyway,
Goodbye.
that aside, um, trying to think. I mean, I really liked. I just know I really liked Stargate Atlantis, and
Yeah.
no, well,
Okay,
okay,
who's slurping? Who's slurping?
not me. So
Mr. Go.
I took a class about science fiction and fantasy and the difference actually between science fiction and fantasy, which is always interesting why they put them together. Fantasy is meant to be stuff that can never happen, which is why, for example, Star Wars is considered fantasy, because there really is never a force. I mean, technically, not really. Destiny is considered fantasy, sci-fi fantasy, because while there's advanced technology, you're really not going to have a traveler that gives you immortal powers. Warframe, you know what? Warframe might actually, no, because the whole void powers thing, while transference is possible, the void giving people magical powers. But on the other hand, Star Trek is considered basically hardcore sci-fi. It's meant to be technology that, now, I mean,
Well,
it blurs a little.
I think the difference, and I'm not quoting him directly here, but Isaac Asimov had a lot to say on the subject, and that science fiction is designed to use fantastical elements to comment on something current, generally speaking, and not necessarily like current day, like current year or whatever, but something that is universally acknowledged as a challenge, by all. And science fiction will use those kind of futuristic trappings to get you to think about the world that you actually live in, whereas science fantasy or like space opera, like Star Wars, is purely wish fulfillment. And it is Star Wars. Let's get down to brass tacks. A New Hope is a classic fantasy quest. You got your poor farm
Which
boy who
one?
hooks up with the wise old man who goes off with the ruffian to save the princess from the evil wizard. I mean, that's A New Hope in a nutshell. They just set it in space.
Literally.
Yeah.
Even George Lucas straight up said exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Warframe is meant to be a commentary. I mean, for example, I know that the corpus are considered almost satire to modern day. The obsession with profit and the market. I understood that the corpus is meant to be satire for us.
Mm-hmm. Right. By the way, Chow, you played Chrono Trigger, right?
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah,
gotten every single ending.
would you say it counts as sci-fi?
Yeah, I would say it's actually a nice blend of sci-fi and fantasy. And a lot of that has to do with the time travel mechanic in there. But yeah, I would say it counts as sci-fi for sure.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, but I and that's I guess but there is a difference between like say hard sci-fi, right, and soft sci-fi too, right? Like to a degree, Star Trek I would consider soft sci-fi just because there are so much in the way of conveniences and technologies that are designed to
And
sort of
way
facilitate the series, like artificial gravity, for example, or the replicators, for example. Whereas an example of harder sci-fi would be like The Expanse, where artificial gravity depends entirely on the inertia of your ship, and so the ship is built like a skyscraper, right? If you were to lay the ship down on its side, all the floors would be
X.
yeah, they would be perpendicular to the ground. Kind of thing, all of the decks.
Well, I think they are meant to try and imply that what happens in Star Trek is even more in the future, and that somehow they're able to come up with it in the future.
Sure, but it also relies on a
suspension of disbelief.
Very much so, and the tech babble is there to kind of gloss over the fact that we have no fucking idea how some of that shit's supposed to work.
Warhammer 40k, I would say, is actually more fantasy because of the chaos gods and all of that. Even the Warhammer 40k with the Space Marines and all of that, because of the chaos aspect of it. I mean, just the fact that the God Emperor is basically an immortal who has existed from our time. He's alive supposedly right now. Then,
That's unsettling.
yeah, if you think about it, the God Emperor is alive right now.
Yes, of course I am. What are you talking about?
I mean, you guys.
Well,
you guys
Your
saw that-
Majesty, just can you please remind Games Workshop that there is no female Space Marines and stop going woke and stick to your true message, Your Majesty?
I will deal with my problem children as soon as I can, of course.
Thank you, Your
Children,
Majesty.
because they're Marines. They're going to be problem children. Holy Jesus, motherfucker. Yeah, okay, I will deal with them. I'm sorry. I will deal with this problem.
Thank you, Your Majesty. They have been
no
quite a
problem.
problem.
You have I assume seen the statue, right?
Which statue? No.
Oh no.
Always.
Oh God, yes. The when they make Trump into it.
Yeah, that's
no,
which wasn't quite the burn that they thought it was.
No. What they
Not
need to do
even
is then
close.
put Biden's head on him when he's like after he gets after the Horus heresy, when he's like living the he's sitting on his throne and all that, and he's like basically an emaciated skeleton. The president not when he's at his full power.
Right. I'll be honest with you, Kat. I don't actually know as much about the lore of 40K. I was when I was into Warhammer, which was well over a decade ago. I was a fantasy guy as opposed to 40K. I prefer the setting when it comes to that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, what you are saying, the Emperor of Mankind stays alive by sacrificing 1,000 psycho-capable humans a day. He sits upon a throne, and he is basically an emaciated skeleton, or like a mummified form. So yes, it would be awesome if you put Biden's head on that. So it's like he starts out as the mega ultra Trump.
Yeah.
The funny part is, it for us, it's that's fucking hilarious. We love it. Donnie actually hates that shit. He hates being called the God Emperor, referred to that way. It's
right. Yeah.
It's a problem.
I just thought it was funny that a bunch of people who hated him went and made that statue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I was like, really? That's how you want to portray the guy that you can't stand?
As a super powerful, ultra godlike emperor.
But for us, it's like, yeah.
And honestly, it's pretty good work too. So like future generations who don't understand anything about what is happening today are going to look back on that thing and they'd be like, oh, they must have really liked that guy.
Wait, so you can get this stuff made? Because I want a 1/6 fully articulated Viso with MOAs and shield drone.
I think you probably could.
But no, Ozzy, when you talk about the Novel Federation, there's this great moment in the Novel Federation. It takes place after Journey to Babel. So this is when Spock, Kirk, and Sarek are all in sickbay because Spock has the he took that blood replicating drug, so he's still trying to recover from that. Kirk was stabbed and Sarek had heart surgery. So the three of them are in the middle of the night and they're playing poker. And McCoy's asleep. And at one point, Sarek wins. And McCoy and Sarek says something like, I believe the proper saying is come to Papa. And it's just hilarious to think of Ambassador Sarek going, come to Papa. And then McCoy comes in pissed off and he starts yelling. And it turns out, I don't remember what happens after that, but he's like, Spock is worse off. So Spock is still in sick bay, but Kirk is dealing with some ambassador, some admiral contacting. I love Sarek going, come to Papa.
Now here's a good question. So which Kevin Sorbo is best? Cull, and I believe it's Cull the Conqueror. It's based on Robert E. Howard's character. Krull was a movie that was interesting, but had nothing to do with him. He was in Dune. I didn't know he was in any Dune versions. Hercules or Dylan Hunt.
Krull is that is a thing. Krull
I know Krull is a thing. I've seen the movie. I watched the movie like a couple weeks ago, but it has nothing to do with Kevin Sorbo.
Stop. It's a misspelling.
Right.
There's a predecessor to Conan.
Yeah,
it was very close to Krull, and Sorbo did that film.
Yes, he did.
Ozzy just it's just a typo there.
Right.
But let me get it for you. Let's see.
So, well, I've also read a bunch of Robert E. Howard's stories too. Cole was an Atlantean who was the father of Conan,
Really?
who was Sumerian. Yeah. See, Atlantis sinks, right? And the surviving Atlanteans, they scatter throughout Hyboria. And Cole ended up in Samaria, where he married a Sumerian woman, and they had a child who became Conan.
So Ozzy meant Cull.
Yes, he did.
Dune, I was not aware of, so we can.
I wasn't either. I thought I'd seen all the Dune stuff, including the one where was William Hurt, I think, plays Paul, Leto Atreides.
Wait, I thought there's only now two Dune movies.
There's a few Dunes.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Channel actually made several 4.5 hour long movies. The first they did that one. They did they do Children of Dune and Dune Messiah? I think too.
I don't think they did Dune Messiah, but I know they did Children of Dune.
Yeah.
Anyway, hate to say it, I got a jet. I had some family stuff come up. So
you got to answer this question first. Which is the best?
What is the best?
Kevin Sorbo.
Which Kevin Sorbo is the best? Hercules.
Okay.
In my opinion.
I can rock with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just saying.
I thought he was great in that show, and that's actually the only reason I know who he is because of that show.
Yep. Same here.
Everything else came later.
I'm going to go with Dylan Hunt. I'm going to go with Dylan.
I don't know any of these, so I won't answer.
Dylan Hunt was his character on the sci-fi show Andromeda.
I don't even remember. I just remember watching the show, but I remember nothing about it.
Yeah, it's one of Gene Roddenberry's other projects.
Yeah, no, you mentioned it was based on. It's been so long that I don't remember anything about it.
So Chow's going to dip out. So yeah, thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll catch y'all next week. Hopefully, maybe we'll see. I don't know. Next weekend could be interesting.
Yeah, and if my planning gets better, we might actually have a guest or two. I don't know. Right. I've got to get better at reaching out like more than 2 hours before the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Night, everyone. See you, Yui.
Good night.
Good night.
Night. All right. So, yeah, stuff that makes us happy.
Warframe, Destiny, Halo.
The name reused from an earlier series that never got made.
What? Oh, by the way, I am waiting for Halo, the TV series, came out on Blu-ray and DVD this week. I am waiting for it to become available pre-owned because I'm not going to give Paramount my own money, and I want it to come at half the price at least, so no more than like $20. If I could get my hands on it, I will buy a copy pre-owned, and I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to take a hammer to it and make a YouTube video where I smash it to pieces and then send the little video to Paramount with the hashtag fuck you.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I suppose if you want to, I mean, I would just as soon just not spend any money on it.
No, because I need to send a message to Paramount about how much garbage their show is, and may they burn in the depths of hell for what they did to Halo. There are no.
Okay.
I truly hope that they look back to the year 2022 and go, we had a company. It was called Paramount. It was doing well. And then we made Halo. That was our biggest mistake. Now we're bankrupt. We suffered because of Halo. We regret the mistake we did by creating a show based on Halo.
Right. What is that popping noise, Carrie?
Sorry. I'm treading out with my cart beaner.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking because it's very loud.
Sorry, I'll be more careful.
Ozzy says Dylan Hunt, a survivor from before the apocalypse of the 20th century, wakes up in the 22nd century, made 2 pilots circa 73, 75. Oh, fair enough.
I was not aware of that.
I just all I saw was the Kevin Sorbo TV
Yeah.
show, and I didn't actually watch that from beginning to end. It was one of those things where I'd catch an episode when it was on occasionally. So I saw things maybe out
Yeah.
of order and missing, so I didn't catch the whole story all the way through, but I liked what I saw. I seem to remember an episode where they were, in dire straits and they had to abandon the Andromeda and whatnot. And so he's like, I got to get something out of my cabin. And so he goes in there and they all follow him in and he pulls his panel off the side of his wall and he pulls a broadsword and a wig out.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's a both head.
And then he sets those aside and grabs the big gun right behind him.
I mean, that's awesome. I gotta watch this show. I haven't seen it.
I do appreciate the self-referential stuff. I was watching Castle the other day. It's a murder mystery kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen all of Castle. I love Castle. It has Nathan Fillion in it.
So there's a Halloween episode right at the beginning of season 2, and he comes out dressed like Mal Reynolds from Firefly, and his daughter goes, "What are you supposed to be?" And he's like, "Space cowboy." And she's like, "Well, I guess." And he's like, "What? I like it." She's like, maybe it's time to let that go. And he's like, "I don't want to."
No. There's also a reference to Destiny in it. He says they're talking about something, and he's like, he's talking with the two guys, and at one point, it's like, "What? You would never want to go to Mars?" And it's like a sense. And he said something where he's like, "And a sense of destiny." I'll find it. It's brilliant because
right. Well, he also made a reference to Buffy the Vampire Slayer during the episode where they killed the guy with the stake through his heart, which is funny because he plays one of the villains in season 7 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Does he?
Yeah, he plays the psychotic pastor who's serving the first.
I missed that one.
It's
yes.
Yeah, he's the guy who puts Xander's eye out with his thumb.
I know. I totally missed that entire episode. You
don't he's in like half the season.
Okay. Short Circuit.
All right. Let me back this up. It decided it wanted to turn on. It does that sometimes. All right. Move this over to the other screen because that makes it easier to share. Otherwise, I'm trying to do it all on one screen and it's a whole thing.
Okay. He's K6 in Destiny. He's not in it anymore. They killed him off. And it's like, no, bring back Cade.
Anyway, Yui, I actually used that story for one of the characters in the gaming I did with Brent. So yes.
Oh, I could also find Firefly.
Yeah. Ozzy's got the name of Fillion's character in Buffy, Caleb. Okay. Is a defrocked priest who is a serial killer of women. Oh yeah, that's right. He was doing that shit too. Yeah, because he picks up his introduction. He picks up a girl and he preaches at a truck stop, and he preaches at her and stuff, and then he kills her.
Any particular reason, or just for the hell of it?
It's sort of a purging of sin kind of thing that he's got going on. The guy's nuts.
You can be crazy and have a direction at the same time. So that
right, but in terms of
purging sin, got it.
Television characters and fantasy shows. I mean, all right, so this is the link.
This is the Castle one, and then the Destiny one. Then I just found the Firefly one. This is the one where
Mars, Nova Scotia. This guy really loves barren landscapes.
Come on, Ryan. You're telling me you have no desire to go to Mars?
I prefer my oxygen without a can.
Where's your sense of adventure, of exploration, of destiny?
If I went to fly thousands of miles to see a lifeless orb, I can just visit Ginny's grandmother.
Because you also get to.
That's great.
And the thing is, you can go to Mars in Destiny. So he's like, "Where's your sense of adventure? Your sense of destiny?"
Yeah, no, it's hard to miss. I saw that at the time. I thought, "What the hell?" Now I understand.
There's actually also a Easter egg in, I think it's Halo 3, where they show they had to actually remove it from the Master Chief Collection, but it says like Destiny awaits, and it shows a picture of Earth, and it shows what looks like a moon, but it's far too small to be the moon, and it's actually the Traveler from Destiny, and it's in Halo 3.
All right, so this one's a little longer, so we'll probably have to break it up a little bit because I'm pretty sure this is like copyright worthy. But this is the Firefly scene, which I have seen. The other one that you showed is further along than I am in the series, so I haven't gotten that yet.
Hey, I was just trying on my Halloween costume.
What exactly are you supposed to be?
Space cowboy.
Okay, A, there are no cows in space. B, didn't you wear that like 5 years?
By the way, anybody who's watched Firefly knows that there are in fact cows in space.
Of course, there are cows in space.
Just saying.
Oh yeah, okay. Alexia's
remember
right.
that.
It was ODST, then not Halo 3. It was ODST. Halo ODST has a reference to Destiny in it.
Yeah. Also, Alexia, the very best, what was it? A Valentine's Day card I have ever seen. It had a picture of the cast of Firefly on the cover, and inside it said, "I want you more than season 2." Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty good. Let's see.
You were about to get raped.
Yeah.
Years ago?
So,
So don't you think you should move on?
I like it. What are you doing up so late anyway?
That's pretty much the gag. After that, it gets into more of the series there. But yeah, it's Firefly's a great damn show, and they're rebooting it, and I wish they would leave it alone.
Wait, they really are rebooting Firefly
They're
Yes.
talking
without
about
Nathan Fillion.
Without Ron
it.
Glass.
Anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
Who?
obviously without Ron Glass, but I think it shouldn't be done without him.
Shepherd. And I'm going to pretend she didn't say that.
Wait. Who is rebooting
Okay.
Firefly?
Well, seeing as how it's owned by Fox, and Fox is now owned by Disney.
Okay, you can ask that question.
Yeah.
No!
Who
No!
It's
No!
Yeah.
Destiny
you know
does
how this
nothing
goes.
right.
No, this is true. This is true.
No!
Well,
Mega Reacts. Oh, you watched Serenity before you watched Firefly? That's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying that you can watch it any way you like, but Serenity hits different if you've watched Firefly first.
No. Just no.
You know what they say, right? Seek Heil meine Maus.
Cat,
What?
reach for your coffee cup. Take a long, hard drink.
It's not strong enough.
I didn't ask if it was strong enough. Did I ask if it was strong enough? I didn't ask if it was strong enough. Take a
It's times like these that I'm just like, there are some benefits to not being a Muslim, because if you want to make coffee stronger, Scotch is a great way to go.
Yeah,
I don't have coffee. I have Red Bull.
Yeah.
Okay, Red Bull. That's fine. I'm not going to split that hair with you.
Yeah, no worries, Mega. It's
sorry.
I would recommend going back, watch Firefly beginning to end in the order that it's supposed to be shown, not the order that it aired, by the way. Because Fox doesn't know how to handle any good property that they have. It never has. But go back, watch it through, and then watch Serenity again. I don't know if you've already done a reaction to it. I wouldn't necessarily do that again, but watch the movie again, at least on your own time, and you'll see it a little differently, in a good way, mind you.
No. Why are they doing this?
Money.
I've never quite understood why people mixed alcohol and things like Red Bull and stuff. We used to, when I was working in the liquor industry 20 some odd years ago, they had come out with this stuff, and I forget what it was called, but it was like 2 parts alcohol and 1 part caffeine. And it was I forget the name of the stuff. It had something called like Euphoria or some shit like that. It came in a like luminescent green bottle. Point is mixing uppers and downers like that, especially in those quantities, is asking your heart to freak out because it doesn't know what it should be doing and just explode.
Cool.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, I'd prefer that over Firefly boot.
Yeah.
Hey, cat. Take
Yes.
take a deep breath and please hear me completely before you freak out.
Okay.
All right. There has never been a good live adaptation of an anime. Right?
Okay. Right.
It did happen once. And
Okay.
I wasn't not going to go because it was a Cameron film and it was a live adaptation of an anime Ninja Girl, which is never going to go well at all. And I was wrong.
Alita Battle Angel.
Yes, actually, that's correct. And that's not the point here. The point here is give them one chance.
This is Disney.
Disney. I understand. I get it.
This is Disney.
Take a deep breath. Give them one chance. Call it the pilot. All right, that's fine. Give them that one chance to see if
It's Disney.
Right.
Have they gotten anything right? Anything right? Anything.
Take a deep breath. Give them one shot.
Why? What have they done right? What have they earned any trust on our part? Disney has earned no trust from us at this point. Okay,
well, I tried.
There's just, I mean, and aren't they doing now a female-centric Spider-Verse with Amazon or some kip like that?
That was announced. We'll see if that actually happens or not, but it was announced, yeah. But they've been doing that shit they've been pushing that shit for years. I mean, that's why Spider-Gwen exists in the first place, is to just completely undermine what Gwen Stacy's death meant to Peter Parker.
No, but
and to his character and how it drove him forward. But they're like, oh, we'll just introduce an alternate an alternate Gwen from another universe, and she has his powers, and she's better at everything than he is.
Disney used to actually make porn films. People don't know that.
I did not know that.
They used to make porn. It was through one of the subsidiaries. Which one?
I should go back to making.
Well, it was. Are you talking about like Kids and Priest? Because that was through Miramax, which was owned by Disney. For that matter, Pinhead has been a Disney princess like 3 different times.
Wait, well, what?
Oh yeah. Okay, so the current Pinhead was produced in an exclusive deal with Hulu, which is owned by Disney. In I think it was between like 1994 and 1998. These movies were produced by Dimension, which was at the time a subsidiary of Miramax, which was at the time owned by Disney.
Okay.
And then again in the mid 2000s, right before all that shit went down with Harvey Weinstein, the Weinstein Company was in bed with Disney, and they were funding stuff for him, and he was the one behind, I think, Hellraiser Deader and Hellraiser Hellworld. Hellworld, by the way, features a very young Henry Cavill.
Oh, cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but how is Pinhead a
princess?
Yes.
Same way that Darth Vader is.
How is Darth Vader a princess?
Because he's now Disney's bitch.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, let's be honest. Darth Vader has no agency anymore. Never really did, but now that Disney's got his hooks in him, and the same thing with generally when I say Disney princess, and I'm referring to an off-color character like Pinhead, for example, mostly I'm just mocking the whole Disney princess.
No, actually, you kind of right. Well,
yeah,
we're gonna go with you on this.
Yeah. So it's something I've been saying for years because I think it's funny. Not everybody agrees with me. So I might have been, but I don't actually. I don't know if Buena Vista came up during when I was looking all this stuff up years ago. But yeah, this is like the third time that Disney has been in kind of an umbrella position over the people who are making Hellraiser films.
Was
Oh,
that
well.
Buena Vista question directed at Samuel or me? Because I know Buena Vista did make a couple of edgy films, but they were not a full-on porn studio.
Yeah.
That was a subsidiary to a subsidiary, and one of the properties that they owned was actually not Ed Lee, but a particular producer's company. That is very true. That
She's an
was a
evil
full-on
queen.
porn studio. What?
Oh, the matriarch alien is the evil queen.
So that's another Disney princess, but now it's literally a Disney princess.
And
Yeah.
literally a queen, and also arguably evil. I mean, for a given value of evil.
Well,
I mean, they're aliens. Who are we to know what they're thinking, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that's something that I think that franchise started out doing really, really well, was that you didn't understand fully whether the xenomorph was just an alien, like an animal going through its life cycle, or whether it was sentient, or if it was something altogether completely unknown to us. Because
Huh.
there is no communication between the crew members of the Nostromo and the being itself beyond their
True.
limited and very violent interactions. They don't understand what this thing is. They don't understand where it's coming from. They don't understand if it has a greater purpose. Later movies kind of
Ah.
stripped that idea away from it. And like, I would go so far as to say James Cameron kind of fucked that character. I know a lot of people love Aliens. I don't. I think it screws the xenomorph out of everything that made it special and terrifying. You know, because all of a
Huh.
sudden there's dozens of them and they're getting blown away left and right, and they're just dumb animals.
well, yeah.
Huh. Okay, that's something to think
You know,
about.
bit of a hot take, but I think Alien is far superior to Aliens. And everything that came after is kind of eh.
Yeah, well, everything. Yeah, well, eventually, yeah.
So until you get to Prometheus, and then it's just really bad. And not in a fun, where's Skeeto kind of way, but in a, why did I waste 2.5 hours of my life sitting here listening to a freaking android play the piccolo kind of way.
Yeah. basically, yeah.
So, but yeah, that's, I don't know. I'm one of those guys though, like, I get, for instance, Terminator 2. I think it's a great movie. I
Yeah.
think it was a great action movie. I think it's 100% unnecessary. Because
I
the
actually
first
like
Terminator,
Terminator 2.
yeah, I like it. I do, but it's unnecessary to the story because the first Terminator presents us with a closed loop. Nothing further needs to happen. You know, Kyle Reese goes back in time, impregnates Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor survives the Terminator, and John is born, goes into the future, sends Kyle Reese back. Like there's no reason to complicate that with external stories. Now, I like Terminator 2, and I think it, you know, adds to the overall mythos and stuff, but it isn't necessary. You don't actually need anything beyond the very first movie, which I also believe is a better overall film than the second movie is. Again, hot take, but
Okay. You want the good news or the bad news?
let's go with bad news this time.
I found the studio that they owned through their like 2-part shell game,
Mhm.
shell companies.
Okay.
The good news is the name I was looking for was New West.
Okay, what's the bad news then?
Now you know the name too, so you got.
Oh, all right. Why didn't you just say it like that instead of saying good news, bad news? Because it doesn't make sense if you give us the bad news first.
I did give you the bad news first.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still on this Terminator thing. I still think that the first Terminator is the nearly perfect movie, and it does not need any sequels, including T2.
I saw T2 first,
you
so
didn't need it.
I did too, Kat. Actually, I saw Terminator 2 before I saw the first one. I didn't form this opinion until a couple of years ago because I was a fan of the franchise. I watched the television show. I watched all of the movies up to a point. I haven't seen Dark Fate, and I think that's the only one I haven't seen.
I haven't seen that either.
I played most of the video game stuff. I was a fan of the franchise. One of my favorite things that they ever did was when Frank Miller wrote a 4-part miniseries for Dark Horse, RoboCop versus the Terminator.
Oh,
which was
cool.
excellent, by the way. RoboCop goes to the future war.
Oh, cool.
And it's
not a good idea.
No, it was fucking awesome. So, it was a really, really great miniseries, and I think they actually made an arcade game out of that at one point. So I like everything to do with that universe. I do, but I went back and I watched The Terminator 100 times, and it is a nearly perfect script. Almost no space is wasted. Almost no film is wasted. Dialogue gets to the point. The only exception to that, I think, in the only part that I'd say you could probably trim out, although you have to have it in there somehow, is the love scene, which didn't necessarily need to be as long as it was, but it's not particularly long anyway. It does have to happen in order for John Connor to be born, but
yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't have to be as I don't know, romantically driven with the music and all that stuff. They made a big production out of the whole thing. And I'm not saying that I have a problem with it, because I also think it's one of the hottest love scenes ever in movies ever, but it wasn't 100% necessary to show all of that, is all I'm saying. That aside, everything else in it is very tight and concise. And it presents us with, it's one of the only time travel stories actually that presents us with an entirely closed loop. Which gets disrupted by the existence of T2 and everything that came after.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, he's kind of right. It could have stopped there and would have worked.
Yeah, and that's not to say that I don't like T2. I love that movie. It's a great movie. It's a very different movie than the first one, though. And I do believe that it's unnecessary to the original story.
Well, T3 was definitely unnecessary.
I think that T3 was a mess, but it did have a pretty damn good ending, I thought.
That everybody gets nuked anyway?
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, you're going to end up getting nuked anyway?
Yeah, there's nothing good about 3. And everything else is just like, no, just no, please don't.
Talk to the hand.
No, the only funny thing about T3 was there's this fake ad at one point for Terminators where it has a Southern accent. And so they're like, I'm not sure about the accent. And then they show Arnold Schwarzenegger, the doctor doing research on the robot. And he's like, and he uses Arnold Schwarzenegger's accent. And he's like, we'll fix it. So you have Arnold Schwarzenegger like being a Terminator on a thingy talking. And he's talking with a Southern accent. And then, one sec, I could probably find it. It's hilarious.
Lexi, are you talking about the what's his name? Robert, the Liquid Terminator from T2? I do believe I heard it. I don't know it off the top of my head. Yeah, Ozzy's got a point here.
What?
The chick who plays the Terminatrix in 3 also played Blood Rain in the first Blood Rain movie, and she's topless in part of it.
Great. I'll make an absolute top priority of that.
The rest of the movie is fucking awful.
Okay. So in other words, I'll make an absolute priority of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even going to remember the name in 5
Patrick.
minutes.
Thank you, Ozzy. Yeah, Robert Patrick.
Yeah.
But
he's a good actor.
He's a very good actor, and he's still a very good actor.
Well, didn't he pass away?
No, he's still around. He just did an interview with Michael Rosenbaum, I don't know, a month ago.
Oh, I stand absolutely corrected. The only problem with Robert Patrick is they never ever let him play anything other than bad guys or borderline criminals. I mean, he got one role where he was allowed to play a doctor who breaks the law to save people's lives in a broken medical system. Not that I know anything about the VA, but and that's it. Everything else, it's like, oh yeah. He
fair
even
enough.
the one time he got to play a decent character, he ended up being a bad guy. That's like, yeah, the fuck is wrong with you people?
Though the one I just showed you, it's at the 1 minute mark. It's
Okay, so
around
we need to go to the the 1 minute mark.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ads, but the funny part where he's like, "I'm Sergeant Candy." It's like,
Right about here.
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Being of our men and women in uniform, robots will take their place on the front lines.
I'm Chief Master Sergeant William Candy. I was honored to be selected by CRS in the ongoing effort to save American lives.
I don't know.
That is fucking disturbing.
Yeah, no, wait. He says,
About that accent.
We can fix it. Within our power to make war safe. And that is truly priceless. CRS brings you the face future.
Why does this look like something out of Starship Troopers?
Ooh,
It's actually,
it's me.
it's from Terminator 3.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever seen that.
It's in the extra features.
Yo,
Can you drop the link for that into the description? Because it came through really bad.
yeah, I can do that. Give me just a second. Oh, it's in the private. It's in the private chat.
Yeah, I put it in the private chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's,
in the description for after the stream, so
Oh.
people can go check it out.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
But that
I don't know.
was
I'm
hilarious.
hearing it clear on my end. It might just
Yeah.
The sound was great. The video was really bad.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that might be because my internet sucks right at the moment. But no, it's doing a little better now.
I got
it.
Kat, you seem to know something about this. Did they swap the two voices? Like the guy who says we can fix it, was that his voice that they used?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they
All right.
swapped the two voices. Which is why it's hilarious, because then later they use Sergeant Candy's look, but they use the other guy's voice.
Got it.
It might be, that might be a reference to Starship Troopers. I haven't seen Starship Troopers in a very long time either.
Yeah, I'll add that to I'll add all of the clips that Kat's got here to the description at some point
Thank
tonight.
you.
Yeah, I'll put them all in there. Make sure people get credit, that kind of thing.
Starship Troopers, the film was a load of let's talk about anything else.
I don't know. I like the first one.
The first one, if you don't know what you're actually talking about, is great. But if you know the Starship Troopers, you know the book, you're like, no. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I never read it.
What are your malfunctions? And please list them in alphabetical order. I might want to look them up later.
Just never really crossed my desk, as it were.
I might have read it. I'm not sure, because there's this sci-fi book I remember reading in a class. I think it might have been Starship Troopers, but it was a very long time ago.
Yeah,
So I can't remember.
I don't know. It never really came up. I didn't even know it was a book when this movie came out because I didn't spend a lot of time. It was Heinlein who wrote it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have only read some of his short stories. I have not read everything he's done. I was more of a Asimov, Bradbury kind of guy.
That's okay. But once you read the book, you'll understand that no, this is what the movie. Yeah. Fun fact: Heinlein was one of my mother's second uncles, third uncle, something like that.
Neat.
No.
Oh, cool.
You're like, yeah, sure, whatever, Carrie.
No, what I said was neat.
Yeah, I said cool.
Yeah.
How long we've known each other for a minute, right?
Yeah, a hot minute too.
All right. Do I typically not say what I mean?
No, you try to couch it. Besides, I know what neat means there, Bender, so don't even start with me.
I actually use that word unironically. Often, in fact, when things I see, I think are neat.
All right. Well, my great grandfather was one of the first Egyptian Egyptologists and one of the first Egyptian directors of the museum in Cairo.
Funny story. I had ancestors on both sides of Wounded Knee.
Oh, cool! Wow.
So, yeah.
Wait! Mark Hamill kidnapping himself with that I gotta see. If my cat was, oh God, she's snoring again. She's snoring again.
Yeah. Best Joker line belongs to Batman Beyond, a close amusement park in pain, holding his stomach. Complains about the tongue sandwich he had for lunch. I know I should have boiled after ripping it out of that idiot mayor's mouth. Yeah. Didn't watch a lot of Batman Beyond, actually. Some of it, but not a ton.
Yeah, same. I know people said it was really good.
I liked what I saw, but I'm kind of old school when it comes to Batman. I don't need a new young generation taking up his quote unquote mantle. I had a problem with Dick Grayson putting the fucking cowl on.
Yeah, same.
And I like Dick Grayson. I think he's a great character, but he's not Batman.
No.
So, but yeah, and it just, I mean, the fucking Azrael arc.
Oh yeah.
Like I love that whole story, the Nightfall.
Yeah.
All the way through to Night's End. The story is good, but Azrael was the last motherfucker who should have been filling in for Batman.
Yeah,
as was proven when he let Abattoir fall to his fucking death instead of saving him and taking him to jail. He just fucking killed him. Basically, he stood there and he let him die, which is one of the things that I had an issue with in the Nolan movies. Because in all of the Batman movies, I don't know if you noticed this, but all of the live action Batman movies, he kills like a bunch of fucking people.
Oh yeah. That's one of the reasons why I never watch them, because I don't.
Yeah.
I'm a comic book person.
Like there's a glaring thing, like right at the end of Batman Begins, right when Ra's al Ghul's saying, like, he's like, oh, mind your surroundings, blah, blah. And he goes, I have, and blows up the thing. And he says, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You put him in the position where he's going to die. If you don't save him, that's still murder.
Yeah, that's why I've never.
So I do have an issue with that. And then, of course, in the Snyder movies, he's blowing people away with fucking miniguns.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, and then yeah, I mean, even going back to freaking the Burton movies,
that's why I've done the yeah, no, I never watched the Burton movies either.
Yeah, Batman Returns, he kills like half of the Triangle Gang.
No. I don't remember that part, but okay.
Well, setting off bombs in their faces and shit like that. Wasn't there one of them? One of the mimes or whatever ended up with an explosive from the Batmobile in his hands, and he dropped down a sewer manhole cover or some shit, and then exploded.
Like I said, I'm a comic book reader. When I used to be, I haven't read a Batman comic in after all the mess they did. And Bane is a brilliant character, and they messed up with Bane. Bane was like brilliant, and they just
Hey Spock, good to see you back. Ozzy, yes, I prefer. I actually prefer Dick Grayson as Nightwing. Like Golden Age Robin was great and all that stuff, but I feel that when he became the character grew over time, right?
Yes.
So he's not the same boy that he was when he was the Boy Wonder, and I think that Nightwing is a great fucking character,
Yes.
but he's no Batman. And
Yes.
that's one of the important things about Robin is that he's not supposed to be like Batman. He's supposed to provide a counterbalance to Batman's darkness with levity, with light, or is and also with getting into trouble, as Two-Face often calls him, the boy hostage.
Yeah, there's good XO is exactly the opposite of their captain. All right. That's sir. Wait, hold up. You want to do what? Or, sir, hold up. We can take that heavy cruiser. Hold up, sir. Let's go take on the heavy cruiser as a destroyer.
No, I like Tim Drake, and I don't like what they did with Tim Drake as of late. I liked Tim Drake. I liked Nightwing, so I liked it when they had it. So it was Tim Drake as Robin, and then they had
I like the fact that Jason Todd was a footnote. You know, like he was a part of the history, but he was no longer around because he was dead. This was before the Lazarus Pit and the Red Hood bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, his being dead actually drove Bruce Wayne to treat Tim Drake differently.
Yes.
Because he realized where he had made mistakes. He had made mistakes because he treated Jason Todd like he had treated Dick Grayson. He didn't take into account that he was a different person.
Yeah.
And that's part of what drove them apart, and part of what got them killed was because Bruce was not taking into account who Jason Todd was, which, you know, in the story, that's what happened. So he approached it differently with Tim Drake by recognizing who Tim Drake was, what his strengths and weaknesses were, and not making the mistake of constantly comparing him to Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
You know, fuck Damien, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that.
That whole thing, I get him having an illegitimate son with Talia al Ghul. That I don't have an issue with that. What I have an issue with is making that little psychopath Robin.
Also,
You know?
what? He seems to be too smart. Is he genetically engineered or something? I haven't been reading.
No, he has. His grandfather is Ra's al Ghul, so you imagine there's probably some of that Lazarus blood running through his veins anyway.
Really?
Because Ra's al Ghul is like 600 years old. Talia is not his first kid.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I thought it was just a normal guy who, you know, discovered the Lazarus.
Well, he was, but like the sarcophagus in Stargate,
Yeah.
right? The longer you use it, the more it changes who and what you are.
Oh.
Right. And each time there's a reason that he waits until the moment of death before he enters it. Is because if he does it any other way, it'll outright kill him. But even still, he comes back with a little bit more of his soul chipped away each time.
Well, it depends on what your life goal is, I suppose.
Right. Well, that's part of how they excused Jason Todd coming back as a killer. Was because he was dumped in a Lazarus pit and no one was there to help him get through the bloodlust and the madness that comes with that resurrection.
See, I don't know this story, so I can't.
Yeah.
I can't say much. I can't say anything, really.
So, but Ra's al Ghul, yeah, he discovered it in, like the 1400s or something, and he's been, using it ever since. Every time he gets close to death, he goes in, he comes out rejuvenated, but he comes out a little less human. Right.
I will be right back. I gotta take care of something.
Yeah, no worries.
I mean,
So,
I stopped reading Batman a while ago after, honestly, they keep killing off Alfred. You know that they're running out of ideas when they kill off Alfred. It's
right.
like the ultimate where it's like, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to kill off Alfred. It's like, okay, you've done that like a million times. So.
Right. And that's anytime they're going to kill off a beloved character, because the thing about comic books is nobody ever stays dead.
Yeah.
They don't. That's a running trope, and it's just been that way forever. And so that on that note, I can kind of forgive Spider-Gwen, but only kind of, because nobody ever stays dead in these things. That was part of what made Gwen Stacy's death special, is because she was dead.
Yeah. Well, that's
Um,
why I like Viso's death, because he's still dead. And
Right.
I was impressed because he's a liked character and they killed him off.
yeah. But it's so where was I going with this? Like the death thing. Oh, with Alfred. So when they do that over and over and over and over again with a beloved character, it wears thin and it stops having any kind of real impact.
Yeah.
You know, it's a cheap stunt, and eventually they're going to see it as a cheap stunt. Now, if this was a one-time thing, then I could see that being a big deal. Like Amazing Spider-Man number 400, The Death of Aunt May, right? Which was a poignant episode about Peter reconnecting with Aunt May, and she tells him that she knew he was Spider-Man the whole time.
Oh, that
Right.
is actually pretty
Right
cool.
before she dies. Oh, it's a beautiful issue. Beautiful issue. And not only that she knew, even because he thought that she hated Spider-Man, because all she ever said about it was like, oh, that terrible Spider-Man, he's going to get people hurt or all this stuff. She said that stuff because she worried about him. And she was also proud of him.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was a beautifully written issue, and they don't do issues like that anymore.
No, they don't.
It's a very
So-
personal story. That death had impact.
So Ozzy, they did that with Tim Drake.
They did, but Tim Drake was already an adult. The problem here with Jonathan Kent was that he was still 12 fucking years old, and they magically aged him up 5 years, so he's still underage, but just barely, and quote unquote bisexual.
Oh God.
And I say quote unquote because anytime that they do that, they label a character bisexual, they're never going to be with the opposite sex again.
No.
So he's gay.
And nobody's reading it.
The other problem I have with that, though, is that Jonathan Kent comes from an Elseworlds title, Son of Superman, which I have in hardcover. It's fucking good, but he was never canon in the main universe.
Sorry.
Well, look,
Because he couldn't be, because I think Harlan Ellison wrote an essay about this in the 60s or 70s about why Superman and Lois Lane can't have a kid. There are all kinds of problems with that. It's not the least of which is the fact that Kryptonian DNA is twice as fucking long as ours in terms of
yeah, that wouldn't be
base
possible.
protein pairs. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, you know what? Maximiria had a baby, so
Who?
had a bunch of kids actually. Robotech reference. So you know, Clark, Diane, you wanted to go. And I will hand wave him myself right here and now. There, it's hand waved.
Look, I'm just tired of the change. Like I said, I've said this before. So it's always interesting how the people who have no problem with characters being changed have never created characters themselves.
Right.
Whereas if as someone who has created characters, I don't like it because I don't want it being done to my characters. So I don't like it being done to other people's characters.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fucking ridiculous, and that's just somebody who
Alexi-
a saboteur.
Yeah. Alexia, that alien is Starfire, and while she comes from another world, she's still female. So, no, he's straight. You know, and obviously female at that. I mean,
Yeah.
Very.
she has
No, well, and Tim Drake was with
gravity
Stephanie
defying
Brown.
endowments. Yeah. Yeah, and they were together happily so for like what, 30 years? 25 years, something like that in the comic books, because apparently people never age there. But yeah, so it was I don't know, it was the whole thing. I'm actually surprised that Jonathan Kent didn't come out gay for Damian, except that they also in the main timeline, I think they killed Damian off because the League of Shadows like cloned an older, bigger version of him that murdered him. I don't know. I hadn't been reading at that
No,
point.
they
It's
didn't
Cliff
make
Notes
that.
I
They
picked
didn't
up.
mess with Bruce. What are you talking about? They didn't mess with Bruce.
Yeah, I don't believe that happened.
don't
I think
remember
that they
that.
tried to do that with Wolverine and Cyclops.
Oh wow, that was stupid.
Well, it was just like, well, we're both fighting over the same woman. Why can't we all just share? Kind of bullshit.
Wait, what?
Yeah, this was pretty recent in the X-Men stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's spit roast.
Well, yeah, but Wolverine was the spit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not think Cyclops would go that way.
Not,
But okay.
Not only did or maybe I phrased that incorrectly. Wolverine was catching, not pitching.
Yeah, well, yeah. I kind of figured out what you meant there.
Of those two characters, did Wolverine really strike you as a power bottom?
No.
Because that's how it's come out.
Really?
Also, Iceman's gay because Phoenix got into his brain and told him he was.
See, that's mind control. That doesn't count.
Yeah, well, this is why you can't have nice things, and you certainly don't want activists writing your fucking work.
No, you don't. You definitely don't.
That is not something I needed to see. And my sister just sent me a picture of a human centipede ornament.
No.
Your sister's an evil, awful, terrible person.
She's been trying to get me to watch those horrific fucking movies for a long time now. She
would have sent it to me instead.
I will probably pass that on to you, actually.
Disturbed sociopath. Ah, motherfucker.
Ow, no.
I am a disturbed sociopath. Don't worry about it. Damn it. I also just banged my head onto a piece of steel.
Yeah.
I would prefer.
What's the hiring?
No, don't show it. Don't show it. There's some things we just don't need to know.
You don't need to do that to Kat and the audience. You just need to do it to me.
Yes.
Yeah, it's I mean it's I'm not gonna do it, but mostly because I don't want to see it again.
That's kind of fair. Okay, all right. So what's the hiring process at G4 there, Zillage?
Wait, I thought that was over. That it's destroyed.
Yeah,
yes. Oh, you didn't hear about the hiring process at G4?
Was it casting couch? Because it seems like a casting couch kind of situation.
They would ask them, why should we cancel Batman?
Oh, right. Yeah, I did hear that. I actually did hear that
Yes.
lady talking about her interview process.
And it was like, because he's a white rich man who gets away with breaking the law. It's like, no, actually, I don't even know if anybody knew what color Batman was. The majority of Gotham probably never got close enough to know what color
Most
Batman
of Gotham
was.
still thought he was an urban legend. They didn't think it was
Yes.
real. That was part of why he was successful.
Yeah. So low to you, Kip. Yeah, I said that this woman would say that the whole G4 thing failed from the beginning, from the interview process, where they were hiring basically activists. And it's like, we don't want activists in our entertainment and in our fandoms. We're just tired of the activists. But then that's all they have. They have no other cause.
Yeah, it was about Batman's privilege. Batman's and she had a great answer to that too. She said, if you're in Arkham and things are going bad, you really give a fuck about the white privilege of the guy who's saving your life.
No, nobody. No. That's the thing. Nobody cares.
And that's what I generally think about the identity politics thing. That is a uniquely Western thing, and specifically American thing, although it has leached out to several other countries since. That say the young boy who has to trek 15 miles to the nearest potable well in northern Africa, right? And hopefully he manages to make it back with the bucket, with the pail full of water, without spilling too much of it, without getting attacked, without dying of dehydration. Do you think he gives a motherfuck what your pronouns are?
No.
Or his, for that matter. He's more concerned with things that matter, like surviving the day.
Which is one of the reasons, yes. Yeah, which is one of the reasons why, honestly, I've gotten like I'm deleting half of my Twitter. And then I got into an discussion on TikTok during my live stream. But honestly, where I'm like trying to get out of the whole.
Oh, cat.
I'm trying to get out of it because you know what? I've realized that most of these people we're facing food shortages in the next year. We are dealing with energy shortages in the next year. You know what? You want to worry about all that other identity politics stuff? Go right ahead. You keep worrying about your identity politics while you slowly run out of food. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to sit here and watch as you try to deal with your identity politics, but I'm not going to starve.
Well,
I work.
We are going to breed and continue, and they are not, and that's just the fact. Deal.
Well, that's why they go so hard for the kids.
Yeah.
You know, you can change the young's mind, and the old's minds don't matter. Not
Well,
in the long run.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, our kids are always going to come back to us and say, wait a second. Sooner or later, they are going to come back to us.
Yeah.
I forget who said it recently, but somebody did, and they said that the future generations are going to look back on this as a time of woe, a time of darkness and tribulations.
Yes.
They are actually going to wonder what the fuck we were doing.
You want to know why? Because we are already looking at. I mean, I could not wait when I was going through the whole COVID thing, and I was one of the most vocal and fed up, and I would argue daily about masks and all of that, right? And I even got my YouTube channel briefly shadow banned because I got so tired of the Vax Pass and went into New York and made a video about it, which you probably could see. It's one of my short videos. And now they're asking for amnesty.
No.
So,
you know what? They want forgiveness. Forgiveness is a God's game. They need to get religion. They're not getting it from me.
No, but my issue is the fact that when the last time they were going through all of this COVID stuff, right? And they were telling us to shut up and how we were wrong, and they were censoring us, and they were threatening us, and they were, kicking us off of the internet and getting us shadow banned and telling us to follow the science, even though they're completely ignoring the science. And now what do they want? Forgiveness. Now they're doing other stuff and they are censoring us, banning us, shutting us up. It's like you learned absolutely nothing. If there's one thing I have learned is if something is hyped up, popular, and nobody's looking at the details, and you need to be censored or accept a certain opinion, then there is something more going on, and I'm going to question it immediately. So I posted it on Twitter. I said, you learned absolutely nothing. So you think we're going to forgive you over COVID when you're doing the exact same thing all over again? You should have learned by now not to allow other people's opinions to come forward. So as I said, I'm trying to keep out of the whole politics. As I said, I gave in today during my live stream and had a really pissed off thing about TikTok. No, I need to stop because there's no point in trying. You're not going to convince these people. Their hearts are closed. You're not going to convince them. You're not going to change anything. And if you sit in front of Twitter or TikTok or whatever and yell and rant, you're changing nothing. So you know what? I said, you know what? You want to do? You do you, boo-boo. I'm more concerned with making sure my family gets a wood stove. So if there is an energy shortage, we're not going to freeze. I'm more concerned with making sure I have enough emergency supply food to last me a couple months so I don't starve. Because starving, you know what, is horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Actually, the wood fire stove is a great idea. No.
Yeah. Well. Yes.
We'd have one, but we don't have trees.
No, empathy, the one thing I'm starting also is to close my heart to that. Because you know what? Every time I hear what's being done to kids, it breaks my heart. And then I go on Twitter and I start arguing. And you know what? It's not going to change anything. You're not going to convince these people with what they're doing. So you know what? I'm done. There's just no convincing them. It's like with COVID. I used to go in there every day and be like, these masks are stupid. These masks are pointless. Why are we still wearing these masks? And they still would not listen. They didn't care.
Yeah. You don't get amnesty until you at least stop doing the thing that was making other people's lives.
Well, here's the thing. Would these same people have granted amnesty to the criminals at The Hague?
Probably.
How about this? How about something more relevant? With these people, grant amnesty to the people who are still in prison over January 6th.
Right.
The people, most of whom
No.
did absolutely nothing wrong and just walked in not realizing what was going on. No.
Right. The reason that I made the comparison I did was because these people, the COVID pushers, the vaccine pushers, the ones who put out this stuff into the universe and into the world, and all of that, have been responsible for millions of deaths.
Yeah.
Have and are. And as far as I'm concerned, like I said, forgiveness is between you and your God, not me. You know, I understand. Let me put it this way. Forgiveness, to err is human, to forgive is divine. I'm not a God. I don't have the capacity for forgiveness, especially not on that scale. I know this about myself.
Okay. Yeah, look at it this. Okay, people did things during COVID that they probably regret now, right? I've been there. I've done that. I own it. I stopped doing the things that made other people's lives horrible and unbearable. And you know what? I'm not getting an amnesty for that from the same people who are demanding it now. So yeah, go fuck yourselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mexicans Canada is also pushing euthanasia for things that have no reason to be included in that, like being homeless, being jobless, whatever. You know, they're offering people, they're trying to talk people into suicide, into assisted suicide, and some people are signing up for it.
The thing is, all right, think about it. You know what? Let's just say that I think that in a way, Canada is both brilliantly evil and brilliant genius because they are wiping their mistakes. Because people who are mentally suffering from what they went through, first of all, for example, through COVID, let's delete them so they don't come back and sue us.
Yep. Well, yeah, and it also falls in line with population control and reduction. You know, like let me put it this way: if certain Germans of a certain political persuasion during a certain period of time could have talked certain, shall we say, campers into offing themselves, right?
Yeah,
they'd have done it in a heartbeat.
Beats this.
Yeah, they'd have done it in a heartbeat. And we are witnessing that now in Canada. They don't even have them like in you know, they're not campers. They're, you know, in their own homes.
Yeah.
You know. By the way, fuck Trudeau, fuck his WEF masters, fuck Darth Schwab, fuck all of you. If you align in any way with this globalist bullshit, fuck you too.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying Mexicans. It's also mental illness, and as we said, they're trying to convince people of, I don't know.
Yeah. This was Mexicans, or Alexia's got a point here. You know, this was like one of those things I was trying to avoid when I was starting.
Yeah,
Let's
me
talk
too.
about something fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You
So
brought up Canada.
you know what? Yes, but I think we brought up Canada in relation to other things.
Yeah.
But that
once again started this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, did you happen to get that DM I sent you about the band, Cat?
The what?
I sent you a link to a YouTube video. It's a sample from a recent concert of a band that I really like.
No, I haven't been. I spent a day off of Twitter, and then I just saw the link. I haven't looked thoroughly into the.
Well, you had asked. We did that. We tried talking about music. I don't know. It was like 7 episodes ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And you had asked for like suggestions for music, so I was like, hey, this is one of my favorite groups.
I
This is
will
a
look
relatively
into
recent show. And all that. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I did put it out also on a community post, but the band is called Epica. They're Dutch symphonic metal. Got you know, lot of double bass kick drums along with an operatic vocalist.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. They have done all kinds of stuff. They've got, I think, 6 albums now. They've been around for 20 years. One of my favorite things they did was at a music festival in Hungary where metal artists are sometimes asked to participate, and it's an opera and classical music festival. They're one of only 2 metal bands that I've seen get invited to that. The other one being Therion, and they did several pieces with full symphonies and orchestras and choirs who played their music, as well as they played along with certain classical pieces like Romeo and Juliet or Stabat Dolor. Fuck, I'm screwing that name up. Anyway, it's a nice, beautiful piece. They also did a pretty badass cover of the Imperial March from Star Wars.
Oh, cool.
If you have not heard the Imperial March with double bass kick drums, you have not heard that song.
Huh.
Okay. All right. You win right there. I will check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean, you were there almost, but that was it.
Yeah. So they also put out for those of you who are anime fans, they did a short EP covering some of the big songs, the big pieces of music from Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Which I never watched, but I understand that a lot of people who watch anime these days really like Attack on Titan. Anyway, the music.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I've never seen it myself.
Yeah. They covered some of the music in that on a short EP that was pretty good.
Wait, I've heard Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers really, really likes Attack on Titan. At one point I remember him talking about it a lot. But I haven't watched it yet. I don't know where to get it from to watch it.
Yeah.
The Mark vid? Oh, where is it? You said you put, here it is.
Yeah. I never watched Attack on Titan. I don't like I said earlier in the show, I don't watch a lot of anime, and most of what I do watch is older. I'm ashamed to say that once in a while I will force myself to sit through Akira again. Because it's actually really good. It's just really fucked up.
Okay. Right, that's fair.
Have you seen Akira?
No.
No.
My brother tried to force me to watch it.
It's pretty fucking dark. Let's see. I need to close that one out. Am I bringing this up on the screen? What am I looking at?
That's that thing she said about Mark Hamill like kidnapping himself or something. The Joker.
Okay. I might have seen that at some point. I don't know. It's possible. We'll go ahead and share the screen anyway. I have a feeling if we get hit, we're going to get hit for a lot worse than this. So,
oh please, you've already gotten hit by now.
I haven't really been keeping track. It
also depends who. Like I got hit by because I showed the intro to Rings of Power. Like,
right?
Really? You're kidding me?
We love you, Susan.
You'd think they won as much press as they could get, given how fucking poorly that show was received. But whatever.
No. My favorite hit was the one where I got hit for the Hope for the Future, Paul McCarthy Destiny song while playing Destiny. It was on a jukebox. In one of the parts of it was so it was like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Let me so Alexia, let me put it this way. Most of the anime I've seen is hentai.
It's true.
As far as mainstream anime goes, it's been pretty limited. Aside from Miyazaki's work, which I like most of actually, and things like Akira, Vampire Hunter D, Trigun, like we discussed earlier. and a handful of others, but very few of them. I really like One Punch Man, by the way. That shit is hilarious. But aside from those, it's been things like Alien from the Darkness and 3x3 Eyes and Demon Seed.
Literal.
Yeah. So, and these are not things that I necessarily enjoy, but I've seen more of that than I have of regular. It's possible. I don't know. I was probably high, if I'm being honest.
Okay, good to know.
On occasion, yes. Yes. All right. Let's see the video here. Okay. Justice League Action missing the mark. Oh, how's the audio?
It's fine. Well, it seems okay.
It's what?
It seems okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems okay.
It's really loud in my headphones, so.
Wow, that was fast. Gotham Conservatory, please. Joker? What's the big argument?
Second.
Buckle up, movie star. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
As soon as they realize you've kidnapped famous actor Mark Hamill.
Oh, I bet this played right into that man's ego.
No, well, it's because he voice acts all three of them.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. He also live action played the trickster in the 1990s version of The Flash.
Did he?
Yes, he did, and he reprised that role in the CW version a few years ago.
Okay, is it ego or is it him making fun of himself?
Maybe he's making fun of himself, but let's be honest. Anybody who's followed anything Mark Hamill said outside of entertainment, he's pretty goddamn full of himself.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
I want to fight him on something, but we'll talk about that later.
You're a big star. The studios will pay plenty of simoleons to get you back. You bet they will. You're my favorite actor. I loved in that 70s classic about a young lad who fights impossible odds to fulfill his destiny.
Okay. You see, now he's talking about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also unusually muscular for Mark Hamill.
Yeah, well,
I mean, look, he's taking up more than half the seat.
If you've seen Mark Hamill recently, he is about that wide. He's just not that toned.
Well, okay, all right, come on. He's in his 60s now. Come on.
Right. You know, it happens naturally as men get older. We get fluffier.
But it's true.
Oh, yeah. Corvette Summer. Ah, the fuzz. But never fear, we shall persevere.
That's pretty good.
What's that?
I don't think he's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Though I don't think he's ever been. Yeah. No, but I don't think he's ever been that toned.
No, not really. He well, I don't know. He was in
Big
pretty
Red
good
One.
shape in the Guyver.
Big Red One. But he was also playing a World War II soldier, so.
Yeah, and he was, like I said, he was in pretty good shape in the Guyver. And I don't mean Muck Guyver, I mean the
Guyver.
Yeah, so for those of you who remember that.
My brother does.
Yeah.
Watch your tone, you witless wannabe. I didn't say anything, you paranoid prankster. Turn left here while you're at it. Oh, this street is even worse. Oh, you directionalist dolt. I didn't tell you to turn. Did you see my mouth move? That's just the sort of corny trick that keeps you in the villain Bush League. Bush League? Yeah. You want to make something of it? Maybe I do.
Yeah, he's playing himself against himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Cute.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Plan.
Yeah.
Corn and
Holy shit, it's Swamp Thing.
corn here. Well, that was a pretty neat trick. getting them to drive onto the grass where you knew I'd be able to take care of things.
But how?
You were so busy thinking of Mark Hamill as a celebrity, you forgot that he's also a talented voice actor.
What's a voice actor?
Oh god, I know somebody I should share this with.
Am I mistaken, or was he doing the voice of Swamp Thing too?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hold up, I'll find out. This will take 2 seconds.
Yeah, kind of.
I know a voice actor who might find this kind of cute.
Yeah. Is there more to this? Doesn't look like it. Yeah. All right.
Oops.
I don't know. I might share it with him.
I want to ask Mark Hamill one question. What did the sergeant say to Private Griff?
Yep. Yep. Okay. I don't know. That's not the question I would ask him. I would ask him how all that blue titty milk tasted.
Well, it probably tasted like milk. That's all it really was. But moving
I
right
don't
along.
think it's real milk. I think it's like not cow milk. At least the stuff they serve in Disney.
So, if you guys have been watching Star Wars for a while, you know that blue milk comes from banthas.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Oh, I thought you meant the sorry. I thought you meant the Last Jedi. Never mind.
That was my initial thing, but like in the extended universe and all that stuff, blue milk comes from banthas, and it's kind of a staple of Tatooine life because there's not a lot of consumables out in the desert. That's why all the crate dragons are dead, for example. Now, there was a webcomic many years ago called the Blue Milk Special that was just a bunch of goofy like Star Wars related gags. Blue Milk Special, the Blue Milk Special is not blue milk. It does come from banthas, but it comes from male banthas. I just thought I'd share that with everybody.
You didn't need to do that.
I hope that's not what they're drinking in
I don't know. I don't know if she is or not. She's playing something.
Maybe Warframe.
Right, Zaleej, that it's you.
Hey, wait, I didn't realize my controller could be seen, damn it.
Well, we could also hear the button clicks.
Oh.
And also, you're looking not at the camera, but off screen. It's pretty obvious that you're playing a game.
Maybe. Look, my corpus buddies need me. Tico needs me. Tico needs me. I'm doing this for Tico.
Yeah.
For Tico.
Fair enough. All right.
Tico needs me.
Well, that said, I think we'll probably come to a close right about here.
Not yet. I haven't gotten the answer yet.
What answer are you looking for?
Whether he voiced
Swamp Thing? Yeah, Lexi answered it in chat.
Oh, damn it, Lexi! I've been spending all this time trying to find the answer.
Why read the chat, dude? They know what they're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to share this with this voice actor. I know.
Yeah. Yes, he did all of the voices in that scene.
But they're almost all, you know what? Honestly though. Honestly though, and this isn't meant to be mean or anything, that he's no Nolan North. There are people who go into like certain typecasts when it comes to voice acting. So like they all basically sound the same. He's not he's a voice actor. He's good in, but have you heard the range of Nolan North?
No,
probably if he's as prolific as you say he is.
Nolan North, there's like this one video on YouTube where it's like Nolan North team voices. Nolan North has done, that's why he's known as one of the like the most well-known one of the most well-known video game voice actors, because he does everything. Like at one point there's this great video where he's like, I was gonna go for this kind of voice for Ghost. It's hilarious. That's why he's phenomenal. Nolan North is phenomenal.
See, I think we've all got our favorites. Mine is Simon Templeman.
No, well, I mean, because he has so much range.
Right. But I like Simon Templeman. He's fantastic. Let's see if I can find what I'm looking for here.
But so like, you need like voice actors for. I mean, you don't need people like Nolan North. Nolan North can do almost anything. But honestly, Mark Hamill kind of doesn't sound that different between the Joker and Trickster and.
Well, no,
I mean,
they're the same voice. What's his name? Howie Mandel, right? Does the voice of Bobby from Bobby's World. He also does the voice of Gizmo and Gremlins. It's the same fucking voice.
You know, another really great one.
Oh.
The Harry Potter audiobooks are voiced by Jim Dale. Jim Dale does a phenomenal job. I have said this before. The Harry Potter audiobooks are better than the movies because Jim Dale is another brilliant voice actor.
Yeah. There are a few of them who are quite well known.
Because they have the range and they can do some. Like I said, if you see the video I just posted, it's like Nolan North doing 16 different voices you didn't know he did, because he does everything from Ghost and characters from Ratchet and Clank that you would be like, there's no way it's the same guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I believe you. I do. And chances are I've probably heard his voice in dozens of things, but
Probably have. He's done Deadpool.
We just don't recognize the name.
Yes, because he does so many.
Oh, who's that voice actor? Oh, Vic Mignogna.
Vic Mignogna. Vic
Has
Mignogna.
done so many voices that he actually had like 3 pages at one point of credits on one particular website. So yeah, I mean, and I didn't even know the name until all hell broke loose around him.
No, well, that's why some voice actors are. I mean, they talk about some of them just. I mean, yeah, they have a limited range. They just. It's not meant to be mean to the voice actors. Just again, not everybody can be Nolan North.
Nope.
But that's why he makes the mega bucks.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just a. Did you want me to play this video?
I guess, sure, why not?
All right, give me a second.
But yeah, I mean, it really depends on. I mean, because yeah, you need certain types for different things. So you need the spunky child voice or the, but that means then you don't get a lot of work because you're only doing a certain.
Yeah.
Which is probably why you probably need to do more than one job than just be a voice actor. I don't know. Yeah, well, he's Ghost from Destiny. Nathan Fillion. I mean, Nathan Fillion, Cade 6 sounds like Cade 6.
Whoa.
And Nathan.
When did we become alone?
I don't know.
Because I was busy trying to find something. Computer crashed. Okay. No, isn't Billy West. Oh, talk about somebody who can take a joke. Billy West on Futurama. Bender goes into witness protection. They find him on the moon. They accidentally find him on the moon. Bender identifies himself as Billy West, and Fry says, "What? That guy sounds like an idiot. That guy sounds like a moron." Billy West is the voice of Fry.
Oh, well, they did that also for Nolan North, where he's
Yeah.
calling Nathan, where Deadpool is calling Nolan North, and Nolan North is the voice, at least in the video game.
Nice. Alexia, you are absolutely correct.
Yeah, I agree. Isn't he? He didn't recently come out that he hasn't left his house in like 3 years
Probably hasn't.
because of the coof.
Well, no, it's because he's a raging idiot.
Well, that too, but he was like he's scared of the coof.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it. No, he's a moron. That's just an excuse to be a moron.
Ah, okay.
Okay, let's be honest.
Nah, that's true. Makes sense. Oh, it's also a quote from. I'm just building.
Well, okay. If it's a quote from Fry or not, I don't care. It's still true.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no.
Honest.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, folks.
What
No,
was
you're
that?
not. You're proud of it.
My computer tried to force me to upgrade to Windows 11 in the middle of a fucking live stream is what happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
Clip that. Somebody clip that.
Yeah. So that was irritating. Sorry I dropped out like that on you guys.
Yeah, that it says.
Yeah, it just dropped me entirely. And I'm gonna try this again, and hopefully it doesn't do it a second time.
Well, I am happy to say that my desktop computer, for some reason, and this is crazy because it has a decent graphics card and says it's not capable of being upgraded to Windows 11, which doesn't make sense. I'm happy that my laptop has Windows 11, but my desktop does not.
Yeah. Let me see. So, because I dropped out, I lost all of the links that are in the private chat. So, if one of you guys wouldn't mind copy pasting those back to the private chat so that I can link them in the description later, that would be great.
There we go.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, god damn it!
I already did it.
Am I going to be allowed
so,
to do
yeah.
anything here?
No.
No. Apparently not. I don't know. Either way, appreciate it. Thank you, Kat. I am going to have to beat this thing with probably an axe here in a minute because it's making me very angry. So we probably should end the stream here before I do that live.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. Well, you know, maybe. So yeah. It's no, Muggsykins. I have deliberately avoided Windows 11. I have to use that shit
No,
at
I
work.
think
It is
she means me.
Oh, okay. It's a garbage operating system. Well, and it's also mad because I put in some backdoors that prevent it from automatically doing that. And so every once in a while it tries to interrupt whatever the hell I'm doing. It's very annoying. I fucking hate Microsoft so much. But yeah, I will add all of those links into the description at some point tonight. Shouldn't be too long after we end this stream. I'll put them in. But yeah, we've also been going for almost 3 hours again.
Cool.
So which is pretty good. I bet you do. I bet you do have nightmares. nightmare stories rather. I don't know. I have nightmares, but the things I have nightmares about aren't like, being without pants in front of the class. It usually involves mountains of skulls and blood.
Oh, because I just
Wow.
wake up in odd hours and I'm like, wait a minute. Doesn't Visa's shoes have rubber? Why is he getting electrocuted? Huh. Then I fall back asleep again.
Yeah.
And I realize it the next day.
And mine are about my kids or my time in the service.
Well, you'd think that I would have nightmares. I'm a father too. You'd think I'd have nightmares about my kids, but the ones that I get, if I get them at all, are the same ones I've been having since I was a very young kid. So, I mean, there's variations here and there, but
yeah.
You ever had that falling dream?
Yes.
Right. So you're falling, right? And then you know how they say you always wake up before you hit the ground? That's bullshit. I have hit the ground several times having that dream, and I always wake up, and I always wake up in pain because usually that dream is a result of my actually falling off a bed.
Okay.
Happens all the time, or it used to anyway when I was a kid. And the worst one was I was at this YMCA camp with a group of other students, and we had, they had those dormitories that have got a bunk bed on each side of the room, right? And there's usually like some kind of like a dresser desk right in the middle, in between them. So I'm on the bunk bed on one side of the room, went to sleep, whatever. Next thing I know, I'm waking up on the ground, and not only am I in pain, but I'm in a lot of it because I hit the desk on the way down.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was rough.
That hurt just to hear.
Yes.
Yeah. But point is I did not wake up before I hit the ground in those dreams. I also didn't die. I just, hurt a lot. I think I was probably 12 when that happened. So yes, big oof. I'm glad you laugh at my pain. It's there to be mocked. So
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm going to we'll probably end the stream here because like I said, we've been going for about 3 hours. It's been for the most part fun, except for that dip in the middle where we got into some other stuff. But for the most part, I think we've had a pretty fun conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to have had it. I'm glad everybody joined me. Carrie, thanks for coming on again. We appreciate you having you on. Have you got anything coming up?
I have to decide what I'm going to do first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going through some stuff right now that I got to decide what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So period of transition. Can't wait to see what comes out of the other end, like a chrysalis.
Let's not overstate it.
I was trying to give you some I don't know, some poetry there, brother.
To a disturbed sociopath, come on.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we look forward to seeing whatever that is. His YouTube channel link is in the description already. For those of you in the chat who are interested in checking out Carrie's stuff, and I recommend that you do. Kat, yourself, you have stuff coming?
Well, we didn't live stream me and Shadow on Thursday because he had papers to write, and the next Thursday is Thanksgiving, so probably not going to live stream. But I'm trying to do more live streaming, gaming live streams. I'll see. Which reminds me, sometime I got to show you how to do the Rumble thing.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't even try today because I was like, it's just gonna fucking spit that back in my face.
It's not that difficult, but it would be easier to do it over a chat conversation, so I could show you my screen and stuff like that.
Right. But we will figure that out. I keep promising that, and keep Kat and I have very busy lives outside of here, so
yeah.
So it's difficult to make the time, but we will, and we'll figure that out. And then, you're still in Legion Talk, by the way. Yesterday, from what I was able to stick around for, was great.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. So I was not able to stay for the whole show because my phone died. I ran out of juice. So, but yeah, that was pretty good. Actually, I'm going to talk to Ryan. Has been talking to me on Instagram about possibly guesting on there myself.
Cool.
At some point in the near
Cool.
future. So it's a matter of timing and like scheduling. So that said, myself, this is my channel. You guys know where to find me and what I do here. This is the main show of the channel. I have a secondary show on Thursdays with Larry, which I think we are probably going to skip this next week because it is Thanksgiving and he has a large family. So I may do some like, filler game stream or something like that to kind of make up for that. But it is also Thanksgiving, so I don't expect anybody to be there watching me on the fucking internet. Go enjoy your families, people. And that said, did a Sunless Skies game stream last night. That was pretty fun. Probably get back to God of War at some point tonight. Been doing a lot of that. And we'll see what else happens, what else the future holds. For those of you who are looking forward to the Exiled Lioness's next live stream, it will not be tonight. She is stuck in the boonies in Texas and can't stream for where she is. Sends her regrets. There is a post, a community tab post up saying as much on her channel right now. And I only bring that up because I told her I would. That said, anything else before we go, guys?
Keep calm and mandatory carry on.
Yeah, what he said.
We got to get you a cat phrase.
Meow.
Did you see what I did there? Catchphrase, cat phrase.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I meowed.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to play that off like that came out of my mouth on purpose. All right. Well, remember, YouTube, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras.
Bring
Have a
on
good
the
night,
cobras.
everybody.
Save your breath. Full screen.